Hey, what is up, everybody, and welcome here to the Call of Duty Mobile Sub-Saharan African Championship, where it is the day of the Super Sunday Showdown finale. I'm joined by the delightful gent himself, Mr. Daddy Cool. How you doing?
Good in yourself, and I never got around to the thesaurus, so I'm going to be using the word exciting and excited again today, all day, every day, because it's the word of the day. Is this the semis? Well, kind of, the losers bracket finals and the grand finals right after that. And I am ready for the intense action. We saw some crazy games yesterday, and that was like for people just getting to the semis. Now it's about first, second, and third. This is where the people are like, hey, becoming top 3 is great, but there's always only one winner, right? And all of these teams want to be that team. So I'm excited.
There we go. The man is excited, and for due reason. I mean, at the moment, the share of the cash gets divided between the 3 teams that remain. Those teams being none other than Cast Esports, Zero Remorse, as well as Cyclone. Cyclone essentially waiting there in the finale. But taking a look at the prize pool, 5,000 Rand in first place. Second place going to be getting 30,000 Rand in cash. 2,000 Rand towards the third place. And then we've got that elusive MVP. But let's go through the journey. So, Daddy Cool, take us through exactly how things have transpired.
Okay, so we obviously had the round 1. These were invited teams, the best 8 teams in the country. They were invited. They fought it out. If you lost there in round 1, you went down to the losers bracket, where we saw Cast Esports and Incognito go through in the first round, but they both made it to the semi-finals of the losers bracket yesterday, which we saw.
Yeah, which we saw throughout that series. Unfortunately, Daddy Cool potentially experiencing some internet issues, but we saw an amazing series. Zero Remorse essentially falling down up against Cyclone Gaming. Now that map number 1 was so tight, but when it came down to the rest of the series, it seems like Cyclone Gaming had their number. It is what Cyclone Gaming do. They build up their momentum and they crush their opponents. On the opposite side of things, Cast Esports taking on Incognito. What a series. Cast going up 2-0 in the very first start of that series, and then Incognito, the resurgence came from them as they fought tooth and nail to be able to try turn around, bringing it back to a 2-all. Then Cast Esports came in clutch when they needed to. On the opposite side of things, round 4, that's where we are today, the losers bracket final, where it's Zero Remorse now taking on Cast Esports. Cast Esports having their run all the way through the losers brackets, and this is going to be a great game between both of these teams.
I am thrilled. Actually, I opened up the thesaurus here. Yes, as you can see, Cast Esports versus Zero Remorse.
And yeah, I mean, both of these teams, losers bracket finals is where we are here today. And it's not going to be an easy series by any means for these squads. And both of them know that they're going to be going heavily contested into the spaces. So let's maybe have a little bit of a look at the Cast Esports roster, of which we got to preview a little bit previously. I believe in their squad, they've got the likes of Blurry, Shaz, Daddy Void, Spyra, Iris, Tiano, as well as Mies. For me, standing out yesterday, Iris and Mies from the squad really coming out tall and being able to show some dominance. I do have word that the man, some might call him the legend himself, is coming back in today. Tiano, I had a little brief chat with him before this, and he says, I'm feeling a bit rusty, not necessarily feeling 100% going into this one, but he will be playing. So having a little bit of a look at the 2 squads, we've got Daddy Void, Spyro, Tiano, Boogers, as well as Iris. And on the opposite side, the squad willing to be able to fight them, willing to be able to stand up against them. Chaos, Instinct, Sensei, Akin, Josh, as well as Diehard. And now Josh is a player that I definitely want to keep an eye out for. Did so well up against Cyclone Gaming in that map number 1.
Yeah, we saw some great play. Sorry about that. After the load shedding, it feels like my internet has a bit of a time. It needs to recover from load shedding itself. But yeah, so like I was saying, I did Google some of the thesaurus words. I'm thrilled, exhilarated for all of the action today. We have some of our favorite players we've been keeping our eye out over the past few weeks, our MVPs potentially. And we're going to have a showing today. We don't know the first maps yet, do we, admin? Because, we got a standoff showing for our first hardpoint. Actually, I think me and you've only casted 1 standoff hardpoint together so far. I just love that map for hardpoint. It actually rotates so well. I feel there aren't that many farm points like some of the other maps, as we've seen in the past. But, oh, well, we're already ready for game 1 right now, as the players are heading to point 1, Point Hill 1.
All right, this gives me a kind of a little bit of a reminder to the good old days of standoff, the opportunities to be able to play this map. It's so technical. You need to make sure that you're picking up these rotations, and already going into the hill, we're going to have this one heavily contested. Cast Esports managed to get some time on the hill, but the eliminations raining up in yellow. But what it really comes down to is trying to remain in that hill uncontested, earning points for your team. Now, one thing that we got to keep an eye on for, and Daddy, you kept on talking about how important it is to keep an eye on that mini-map in the bottom corner. At the moment, you can see Cast Esports find themselves in a position trying to hold the top side, and at the moment, they're still managing to control those spawns outside of Garage, which is so crucial. That being said, Spyro just came out with a triple. Cast are looking like they are coming out all guns blazing.
Danny Void, we saw yesterday, putting up such a performance. They're trying to get that wall spam, slow them down a bit. So far, Cast is pulling away, but we saw yesterday Zero Morse do know how to bring back a game and keep their momentum up. You know, they kind of give their opponents sometimes feels like a bit of a lead, give them hope. And yeah, they are ready for point 2 right now. As we say, as you see the minimaps, the spawns being very important. Player 5, they're trying to secure that spawn for his team, and they're going to get on the point right now. And as you can see, scores pretty close to start it off with. And I don't know, let's talk about MVPs for today. Who are we looking at to see to do the most?
All right, so we've got 3 teams left in it, and one of these teams will have the MVP in their back pocket. Now, when it comes down to both these teams, Cyclone, I think the player that stood out for me yesterday was Easy as well as Michael. And I think from that side of things, even Life also had some great moments. So we'll see today. It's a big opportunity for them to be able to step out. On the other side of things, when it comes down to Cast, I mentioned a little bit earlier, Mies and Iris having phenomenal games in their own right. But Mies, maybe for me, on a personal note, takes a little bit of that cake. On the other side, they versed Incognito. I know they fell out, but I got to say, Kip Slim had some amazing plays of his own. On the side of Zero Remorse, I want to keep an eye on Ak and Josh, as well as Instincts. They're the members of the squad that seemingly are remaining quite consistent, but looking at the scoreline right now, Chaos is leading from the front with 7 eliminations.
7 eliminations, indeed. One player I want to definitely keep our eyes on is Iris yesterday. He made 2 clutch games, which we believe is the reason we saw Team Cast actually staying in it and not going home at all. He got the triple kill on point 2 on Shoothouse, and he got that 1v4 ace or clutch in Search and Destroy, and that was enough to break the momentum that not Zero Remorse, sadly our losing team from yesterday had. Cast is not, wait, what?
Incognito,
Sorry.
I believe.
Incognito, that's the one. And they unfortunately got eliminated after that. He lost the momentum of that. So for me, Iris has done a lot. We have the claw in hand here. This point being such a difficult one to contain, and it seems that Zero Remorse are going to get a lot of points here, and Cast is just going to opt out to get onto the next one so long.
Huge amount of points now, and then it's all about holding down that scrap time at the moment when it comes down to outside of heal. But the first rotations into next is going to go outside of storage, and that is going to go in favor of Cast Esports as this clock ticks down. It's a big amount of points in the back pocket, and this should even it up to 64 apiece. Now it's all about who can hold. Player number 3, I believe, this from Zero Remorse, doing some great work around the side, however, getting eliminated. Cast Esports come out of that one relatively happy that they're able to hold the hill at least for the start of the ticking clock.
Definitely. So one thing to remember today for this match specifically, whoever loses here is our 3rd place winner. They will be taking away, I believe, 1,000 Rand that is. So, you know, again, 3rd place, you're on the podium. You did well in our first Call of Duty Sub-Saharan Africa Invitational. And that's great, but 3rd isn't, you know, you always want to go higher, aim higher, get back, maybe get yourself revenge. Both you seem possibly being knocked out by our current team Cyclone, who's been such a menace. Here we see the gravity vortex come out, but doesn't do anything, gets shut down before he can use it, but they are clearing the side back up. So yeah, these 2 teams, they're going to be playing. You're not going to get knocked out because you do win, but you want more. There's always that, you know, you want that bit more, and that's what these players are playing for right now today.
Well, just they are playing for a little bit more than that. I think it's 2,000 Rand in cash, so not too bad in the back pocket in terms of what they'll be able to receive. It's that 1,000 Rand for that MVP reward. But now it does look like we rotate all the way to P1, and it is going to be Cast Esports with around about a 27-point margin lead here. Spyro has that Annihilator in hand. Will not have enough time on the clock to be able to utilize all the rounds in the shelves. And at this point in time, it is still Cast Esports holding on, but Zero Remorse, once again, picking up a big heal, and it does look like they're building themselves some solid momentum.
Right now, Iris on 23 eliminations. Like I said, Annihilator in hand here in Instinct. We've seen Instinct with a sniper, and the Annihilator is just like basically a super sniper. Doesn't spot the player behind him, gets taken out there. Right now, 102-83, not a big lead in from any of these teams. And this, again, we've said this so many times. We love it when these games are this close. It can go any way, any second. And this is the top 3 teams in sub-Saharan Africa. So this is what you expect to see.
This is exactly what we expect to see. A very tightly contested hill, but does look like spawns have gone in favor of Zero Remorse. So knowing that they are heading towards the next hill, P2, they're going to find themselves with a garage spawns, which is absolutely massive. It's a big hill to be able to try earn a lot of points off of. But there's 3 main attacking points. You can see top of the map, middle in terms of mid-map, coming through the house on that side, as well as coming through storage on the bottom side. So you want to be able to make sure that you maintain those long lines of sight, prevent those cuts, and at the moment Instincts is doing a phenomenal job outside of garage doing exactly that.
Oh, unfortunately doesn't get that third player. A bit of a miscommunication there between the 2 players coming out of garage. They do get taken out. That gives the score side of Zero Remorse a lot of points on this hill, and that's what we want to see. We saw them kind of abandon the earlier one quite a bit early to get, to get the good spawns for the next one. And now Granny is up next. Granny, I think, is probably between this point 2, and Granny is where you're going to be farming the most points. Oh, Predator Missile getting a few kills there. And I definitely want to see how these teams cost will probably be abandoning early to try and get onto Granny. But Iris says no. Iris, like we said, he is such a playmaker. He gets in, he gets those eliminations, he buys his team time, and he seems to have tried that again there. But it's not going to be enough as Zero Remorse closes the gap even further.
Such a huge hold coming in there from Zero Remorse. Managed to maintain almost 60 points off of that heal directly. Now it's going to be Iris with a pivotal role to be able to play outside of Delhi. Will be able to pick up 1 elimination. Now just in the grass like a sneaky snake. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. Picks up the second. The Venom bite chomps down on his opposition. Almost maybe just camouflage like the Iris that he is. At the moment, it is that player number 5 looking in from Zero Remorse, making their way through. Instincts opens up that door. Now it's all about the challenge, as it does look like Daddy Void managed to hold inside the hill. However, he does face this gunfire, but his teammate Spyro is there to be able to shut them down. It's a hold for hold trade here, it seems, as Cast Esports keep the penetration of Zero Remorse further and further away.
That kill feed was so yellow, but it's so tough because they spawn away. They don't have the spawn. They have a lot of distance to cover. And the team of Cast is just straight back on the site. And they lose a lot of points. But right now, I just want to point out, we have Iris on 36 kills. Kind of pulling ahead of his team, where the team of Zero Remorse, they're all here hovering close to the 20s. Shows they are really all doing their part. But Iris, sometimes you just have that one player doing so much work. I feel like I'm at the moment simping for Iris a bit, but every time we look at him, he's doing something badass. But we are now on the next point, and it is the team of Cast that are on it already. Some Predator missiles coming in from both teams. Look at that spawn. So both teams are spawning far away, meaning that there's actually time to work with here. And Daddy Void is on the side. He gets eliminated, annihilated, if you will. And there's a Vortex Cannon as well. Vortex Cannon is shutting down that door. Nobody can come through. Again, watching Iris. We're going to probably see something cool. I don't want to jinx it. Cast goes right there. You saw it right there. And now not a lot of points being traded on this point. But again, not too big of a point difference yet. I think they do realize that you can't be giving up any points anymore. You have to commit to equalize it as much as possible. Because if they do pull away, that was a beautiful play there by Tiano. He's trying to find a third year in the smoke. He finds another one. But can he get them off the side? There's 2 more on the side. 1 left, 1 right. Good comms between the teams. He gets another one. Finds... What a play.
Almost.
Coming back for his team.
Managed to almost pick up the 5th player as well inside of that hill. Just being able to be a little bit of a nuisance on the staircase, but all the meanwhile, time kept on ticking in favor of the Zero Remorse squad. At the moment, they're still holding on with around about 12 seconds left inside the hill. Cast finally get a challenge, except Instinct says no. Now it's all about those rotations yet again. We only have 5 seconds left on this hill before we go to P1 yet again. Things are even more even than they were on our second full rotation. Now, this is where the teams can start to break away from one another. Have any of them kept streaks in the back pocket? I think it's only one player that might have streaks in the back pocket, and that, I believe, I'm not too sure. It's player...
So close somewhere. Chaos. That's all I know. Chaos also performing. He's on 29 kills right now. Instinct on 29 for his team. 32 right now for... Damn it, a bit of a blurry year from our spectator perspective. But yeah, so again, the team of Zero Remorse are very, very close to each other with how they're performing each. And they're actually taking the lead for, I think, the first time this match.
That said, it does look like Cast Esports are going to say no. We want that lead right back at the moment. It's going to be Chaos comes up with a trade with Instincts inside the hill. At the moment, they're going to look to Iris and manage to come up with some top fragging there with Tiano in hand. Now from the Zero More side of things, they were spawning towards Statue side. So they're a little bit further out than they wanted to be. However, they get a nice 1-for-1 trade in the back alley. At the moment, it's going to be player number 4 that is held inside the hill. He gets knocked down. That's none other than Boogers. So Cast Esports, this was a heal that they lost out massively last time. They can't afford to let it happen again. The margin of their lead is only, I believe, around about, oh, quick maths, is that 12 points in total? Or is that 6 points in total? Oh, no, it's more than that. It's 18. So 18 before they go into the hill. Boogers managed to bring out the claw to essentially try shut them down. But it does look like Zero Morse are doing a fantastic job to be able to prevent them. The Purifier comes out and it's all about the barbecue, baby, as the burning players start falling. But it's Cast Esports that finally work their way in to contest this hill. However, there are players on the top side and it's still going to be an opportunity here for Cast Esports to try retake the lead.
Can we please get like a 20-point lead rule for like Search and Destroy, but in this? Because holy guacamole, these two teams are neck and neck right now. They do not want to give up any of these points. Trying to pre-fire angles, gets one player off their Boogers. Ooh. And we see here Diehard actually having a great performance yesterday. We saw him struggle just a little bit yesterday, but he's on 39, almost 40 elims at this point. This is Cast getting a few points now. 235 to 211, but this is Granny. Granny being one of those point farming points. And they are a bit behind, but they only need 39 points. That was some quick maths.
That's all they need.
That's all they need. We have an Annihilator in hand, but he gets taken out. So now it is Sevas.
They've done so well.
Go up the ladder.
They've done so well to be able to break the players outside of the spawn area at the moment, but it's Chaos holding it clutch inside of the space at the moment. The Gravity Cannon is going to be, or rather Vortex Cannon, going to be able to find its mark, as it does look like the rest of the squad has made their way through to be able to clear the lines. It is still Zero Remorse fighting for every second that they can get back in here. They're going to need to contest this will Cast, but do they have the discipline to fight through this area, but not one at a time, but as a team? 2 eliminations big come out on the top side. Now Cast Esports still inside the hill. Tiana picks up a 2-piece. The players remain contested. This is still an opportunity. They've only got 10 seconds left on the clock. Tiana shuts down the player in the window. There's a player coming up the staircase. Just like that, they pick up the kills. The Annihilator is out. Spyro gets a shot at range. However, doesn't connect. It's going to be Ak and Josh that jumps through. It's a missed shot with the Annihilator, but he does fall down. And just like that, Cast Esports take map number 1. And wow, if this is the way it's starting, I can't even predict how it's going to end. What a game number 1.
You said just like that. No, look at the work they just put in there. Holy, they held it their ground. They're the Annihilator. Almost got Zero Remorse back on site to just stop that timer delay, potentially for the next point, but unable to stay on the site. And that is game 1. Like you said, a 12-point difference. That is 12 seconds difference that they could have possibly taken that one. But well played to every single player. 49 kills on Iris, 42 for Diehard. Like I said, Diehard is coming today to show why he is one of the top players in Sub-Saharan Africa. What a start to the
What a start that was. And I'm buzzing for map number 2 because that was some hectic insert phrase there, because at the moment the thing is, when it comes down to 250 points hard points, which is traditional across many different game times, but at the moment you get quite excited if you drop something that is known as the 40 bomb. 40 eliminations, it's like a sign of respect. I dropped a 40 bomb. Now Iris was 1 elimination away from dropping a 50 bomb. Huge. It's what separates the advanced player from the elite. Iris coming out so strong for his team there, but a really solid second break from them as well as they headed towards Grannies.
Yeah, well, definitely. Like I said here, we're keeping eyes on players for MVP, and right now all my eyes, I only have 2, but they're both on Iris right now, on his Iris, if you will. But yeah, I have another word after that. I'm some electrified. That's a different word for excited. For our next matches, that's again, you know, I hate it. It's a 1-0. It's a 1-0 lead. It feels like it should be like a 99 to 96 lead or something, because that was such a close showing from Zero Remorse. Can't take anything away from them there. The team was again much more equal on the scoreboard, so they all did their part. But sometimes you just have that one player that does shine just a bit brighter than all the other stars. Some beautiful metaphors right now. And yeah, we're getting ready for game 2. Admins, can you please confirm for us which match we're going to be playing some Search and Destroy on? And you know I love Search and Destroy. And we saw Zero Remorse play Search and Destroy really well yesterday. So let's see what they are able to bring to the table.
Yeah, so it does look like we're going to be heading across to firing range, one of the good old classics, and hopefully going to be able to see some sniper rifle gameplay come out. We've
Yes.
seen Daddy Void with a sniper rifle in hand previously,
An
and I have to
instinct, I
say,
believe?
yeah, an instinct as well on the other
Yeah.
side of things from Zero More. So when it comes down to that challenge, it's going to be interesting. But I know I gave maybe Die Hard a little bit of trouble yesterday, right? Today, been so good.
He watched the VOD. He was like,
Nations, and he said, you know what? I'm here to be able to show my skill. I'm here to be able to stand up and be counted. But they've got a little bit of an uphill. It's not a massive one as it was yesterday for that Incognito squad, but they do have a slight uphill struggle, knowing that they've got one map on the back end that they still need to be able to try recoup to at least try get themselves a lead in this series.
definitely. And I don't think any of these teams right now feel like they kind of lost. I don't think they've lost the momentum because that 12 points, that is, you feel warmed up after that. I would feel even more ready for the next game knowing that it was that close. If we just gave 1% more, we would have had that because that was literally the point difference was 0.5% roundabout between the two teams right now. So that is the margin of error you have at this caliber. Top 3 teams. It's been 3 weeks. We've seen a bit of whitewashes, a bit of running over, and we still have to see Cyclone in the grand finals. Not drop the map yet, but what we've seen right now, it seems like the players are ready for a fight, and I hope they're getting ready for the next lobby because I am ecstatic. I'm tingling in my chair to get ready for the next game.
You need to get that checked out. That's a bit dangerous. Call your physician, call your medical support as soon as possible. But I understand it. It's like at this point in time, if this is the way game 1 is going, game number 2, slowing things down in Search and Destroy, of course, but then we also go across to Control, which is going to be quite interesting in its own right? So both these teams play Respawn and Search and Destroy relatively frequently, but Control, I mean, they're not as used to it as their other game modes, just because in terms of the frequency of these, Control, it's a one and done pretty much in the side of a series, and it's a huge opportunity. Yesterday we saw how Zero Morse took on Cyclone, and they actually struggled in that Control. I mean, Cyclone came through within the very first 40 seconds, I believe, and they managed to claim one of the sites as well. I think that even went out on social. So believe me, everything is going out today. So if you guys want to be able to share part of the action, make sure that you're tagging Carry First African Gaming. We also want to see your clips. We want to be able to see the love. We're all across pretty much all social media profiles as well as channels. So make sure that you're keeping us posted. But further from that, Search and Destroy, Zero Morse, we've seen that they've got some talent in their back pocket. When it comes down to firing range, this is one of your favorites, isn't it?
Honestly, I love Call of Duty. Every map is my favorite. Especially, it seems like the Black Ops maps are making it through here on Call of Duty Mobile. You know, I really love a raid, but firing range is high up there. We've seen some beautiful, like you said, snipers. Snipers have the ability to really shine on this map. I love sniping personally, so I want to see what these players bring to the field as we get ready for this next match. And one thing I want to see a lot of in this Search and Destroy is discipline. Yesterday we saw Zero Morse versus Cyclone doing, like, they got a bit overzealous, very over aggressive, overextending, and it looked like they were going to lose a bit, and then both teams just put it back, found their discipline, and that's when the game became so intense. So I want to see, obviously you have to first try and find out what your enemy is, what they're doing, so you have to do that aggression, find out their pace, and then apply the discipline that you know will give you the win. I have to use my hands. I'm just too too happy to watch. Off that game 1 was absolutely stunning. I really want. We are the players, admins. Tell me. I want to get more action. I need action.
Okay. So I believe we're just getting word that we're waiting on them to ready up. But as you mentioned, discipline was such a key factor in yesterday's Search and Destroy games. Is that those overextends happen at times, but I think setting the pace of Search and Destroy is so interesting. How do teams come out of the gate? Well, remember, when it comes down to Search and Destroy, you got 6 rounds that you're on either attack or defense. Then you swap your sides. Then it's going to be another 6 rounds unless the game ends at that point in time. Generally, Search and Destroy favors that defensive team. But how are they going to be able to come out with it? Because even from a defensive side, yes, maintain discipline, but we saw some breakaway moments where players just said, you know what, to hell with discipline. And they just ran through the lines, especially on Raid, Search and Destroy, and they found their corners and essentially caused a lot of interruption in the back lines. And it's also disturbing when you're on the attack, right? You need to go for those bomb plants, and you know that there's just some person right there, and somebody needs to take care of them. Meanwhile, you still have an objective to be able to plant. It becomes so tricky. So I love these mental games.
Yeah, definitely.
So it does sound like we've got a substitute coming in, Daddy.
Yes, Boogers is out and Blurry is in. We saw Blurry come in for the last match yesterday, and he did bring that fresh pace. And I think, in these finals, you need to. Sometimes you kind of feel the mental game take a toll, and if you are able to, as a player, say, "Hey guys, I think I should sit back," that might be what happened.
Yeah.
And now I have some fresh teeth, fresh fingers, fresh eyes. Get ready for this game, because again, it's not only about. You are on the podium now, but how high are you on that podium? You want to, it's not even about the money, like to quote Joke, it's not about money, it's about sending a message. You want to send a message that you are the best team in sub-Saharan Africa. These players, these teams are probably, they're buzzing right now, especially after that game. And we're loading in. We're getting ready for the action, and let's see how the pace gets set here in round 1 as the players are loading in. I just want to see Instinct and Daddy Void, our 2 snipers last time. Let's see how they perform there.
I can't wait to be able to see it. We want to get those one shots.
Yes.
Back to your excitement word at the moment. Let's see who's going to be on the attack and who's going to be on the defending side. So Cast Esports defending versus the attacking team of Zero More. So to firing range we go. Get those guns ready. It's not about target practice anymore. It's the real deal, as it is going to be the Zero More's team on the attack, and it does look like it's going to be an initial look towards the A side, but no overcommits just yet.
No overcommits indeed. Again, it's about finding. It's either you try and rush and set the pace early, or you try and find out what the pace is. Try it slow, read it out. And it seems both these teams, I feel that's a safer one to go for. Both these teams do that, but we get that first kill there. Nading into the mid building. I do believe you call it Scullery? I can't remember the name.
I call it prefab usually.
Prefab, that's the one. I don't know where Scullery came from. I'm probably thinking about I don't know what. But yeah, prefab, and now it is a 4v4 situation. The trade-off is happening. The players on the minimap right now look like they're kind of all over the place. Bomb is being planted, and it's an advantage to the team that has now successfully planted. Now they have one objective to defend, so now Team Cast has a lot to work against. We know that defending is the easier side. You do not want to be giving it up there. Gets a beautiful kill there with Spyra. Rotates out. Do not get traded out at least. Now it's a 3v3 situation, and they have 25 seconds to work with. Misses the sniper shot. Chaos playing that head glitch really well. Spyro we see there in the background coming through. Chaos finds himself another and first round to the attacking squad. Ooh, these players are coming to play.
Definitely, as at the moment, Cast Esports making a declaration, and to be honest, I was a bit disappointed not to see a sniper shot connect there from Daddy Void, typically known as one of the better sniper rifle players on the continent, and not being able to find his mark there, unfortunately. That being said, it just really does speak to the talent being shown here today from Zero Morse. At the moment, it does look like they're still going to be able to try look towards that A site. As you can see from that split, they've gone for a 2 defense on A, a midpoint management from one of the players from Cast, and then 2 players on B, so a relatively even split. However, now the reinforcements coming in from Daddy Void, who makes his way towards mid-map. Iris is going to be able to pick up one. However, that gets traded out as we are now in a 4v2 situation as lots of Cast players fall down.
Sensei getting that snipe, we just missed it happening with Sensei on the sniper today, but Daddy Void we see as well, trying to see if he can maybe find the little line underneath there. It is a 1v4. He finds finds the first shot, trying to see if there's somebody doing a weird rotation, and luckily there isn't. Or unluckily, because he could have maybe made that 1v1 and withered down the enemy team. But now he has only 25 seconds to work with, still has to defuse, so effectively only has 20 seconds. And the team of Zero Remorse are showing Zero Remorse by not showing a single pixel to the side of Daddy Void right now, and Daddy Void gets taken out by Die Hard. 2-0 for the attacking squad. Oh, maybe this map is a bit offensively sided, but usually not the case, but it depends on the fire under these players, and it seems that the team of Zero Remorse have a lot of fire underneath them right now.
Yeah, at the moment, Zero Remorse have come out all guns blazing, and it does look like they're going to be changing their strategy a little bit here, making a B push. And as you can see, there's a slight overcommitment towards A side from Cast, so this might work out perfectly for them. Currently left on site is Daddy Void with half HP, and will need to back out of this situation. Whips out the sniper rifle, tries to get the shot through the wall. Oh, not going to be able to find his mark despite trying to get those shots fired. However, on the opposite side, it does look like Cast Esports have gone for a full rotation, and Spyra has been the sneaky devil to be able to pick up one. Instincts tries to get the shutdown, makes it a 2-for-2 trade. Now we're down into a 2v3 situation in favor of Cast, but they get shut down. Now it is all down to the one player, and let's see what he's going to be able to do. This is, I believe, Sensei.
We've seen a lot of sniper clutches, and again, if there's a gun that can, never mind.
Ooh.
That is 1-2 now to Cast to get themselves a point on the board. Not too late, at least. It's still early in the game, and that at least now I do believe that Zero Morse have realized, hey, their A defense seems to be a little bit more on point. So let's keep on that. Their B defense. Let's keep on that A because that has been working. And again, it's about finding. I think maybe they just threw that round away, not threw away, but to try and see how the B looks to see if they can work with it, if they need to. Again, at this level of play, it's about the mental. It's about the mini game within the game. Sure, the gun skill, everybody's gun skill is so on point. It's about trying to figure out, reading your opponents, knowing just what to do to break their line, finding that chip in their armor. And it seems that both these teams are, again, super disciplined, not overpeaking where they need to. But that means the plant goes down quite early here.
Yeah.
For time of for Zero Morse, yeah.
Yeah, not enough time really on the clock at the moment, as it is going to be Cast Esports. They're going to have to pull a rabbit out of their hat at this point as to see if they can work some magic. The first shots come in. That's great play there from Iris, going out of the range of his opposite number, trying to get shots in from the wall. Spyro's going to be able to clean that one up against Josh, and now it's going to be a 1v3 situation. Cast have done so well to retake the numerical advantage on the side of this site at the moment. They do spot the player around the corner. Tiana's going to go for the push, and boom, gets the elimination. Now it's back for the defuse, and that's going to be Cast Esports tying things up on the search, 2-2.
What a beautiful retake there. I mean, such an early plant. They maybe just believe themselves they back themselves to go for that retake type of play, and they executed it perfectly. Usually, you know, if you lose a plant that early, it's a pretty dire situation, but they bring it back, and it's 2-2. These players are bringing the fire. They're bringing the action. This is what we want to see in the semis and the close to the finals. I mean, this is basically the loser bracket finals. Oh,
Ooh.
Iris holding that so well.
So it does look like Zero Morse find themselves without two of their teammates early on here. 3v5 situation. And they're currently quite far split. I mean, this player number one, this none other than Chaos, going for a full roam on the left-hand side. But they still have Sensei with a sniper rifle. And let's see if he's going to be able to find that opening.
Ooh, Daddy Void with a sneaky little angle here. Spots out Sensei, misses the shot. Oh, okay. He gets the second one at least. I don't think that Sensei was wise about that angle. So well played. This again, at this level, these sneaky little areas exist. You have to be aware of them. Daddy Void finds another kill there. Right now doing a lot for his team on this sniper. Finding openings. It's a 1v4. I'm not counting anybody out after a 1v4 after seeing yesterday how Iris was able to clutch that 1v4. Let's see if Diehard can replicate. Also one of the players of today has been showing what he is made of. He might get this first kill down. He has 3 left. They are pretty split right now. We've talked about how it's a bad idea to make it 3 1v1s. Ooh, Daddy Void likes these little sneaky little angles. And now it's going to force out Diehard rotating out. I wonder if that call we made.
Yeah, so I like this play here from Diehard, just finding that there was no room to be able to work with. However, Spyro gets himself into a great position, and the rest of the team seemingly reacting. However, Diehard picks up the kill on Spyro in the one on Daddy Void. Now it's going to be a 1v1 player versus player, Mano versus Imano, as at the moment it is going to be Blurry taking on his opposite number, Diehard. 14 seconds left on the clock. The bomb is going to need to get planted here. Spots him out on side of the site. Ooh, and plays this so well. However, there's still time on the clock. Now it's going to be the follow-through needing to come in here from Blurry. Spots him out, gets a shot fired. It's Diehard that comes up clutch.
I told you, we're not counting any player out. 1v4, these players are able to do it, and Diehard does it.
I can't believe that. Diehard clutching a 1v4 Cast. I mean, if they all just stood together as a team, there's no way that he could have taken them out, but they gave him the opportunity to take those 1v1s, and we talked about discipline, and Cast just seemingly felt like they had it. 1v4, this is easy, right? No.
No, that's an overconfidence moment right here. Iris heading up early, but he gets taken up by Chaos. Chaos doing so well for his team, finding those opening kills. One player down on each side, so it is a 4-4. No direct lead, but we know how a clutch like that can just break your mental and momentum. Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't happen to Team Cast, as Zero Morse does take the lead with that clutch, and they have to be patting Diehard on the back right now. Yeah, Diehard's fingers must be shaking. Those situations are what we live for, what we play these competitive games for. And now, I don't think that was a high point. I know I want there to be more high points, and I know there's going to be at this level of play with these players, but that was so beautiful to watch.
Well, Blurry now in a clutch position of his own at the moment, unfortunately falls down. And that is going to be that as far as the attacking rounds for, or rather, Zero Remorse go. Now it's going to be Cast Esports on the attack. And let's see how they're going to be able to make it work. Let's see if they can make the magic happen. And they're going to be kicking themselves. I mean, that should have been, by all means, a 3-3. But Diehard living up to his namesake.
Definitely living up to his name, and again, I feel like sometimes if you go rewatch the VODs, right? You go rewatch the VODs, and then you hear the caster saying something like, "He's just not performing today," and again, you do that Rocky Balboa montage. You know, you go to the gym, you hit the sandbag, and you're like, "Oh yeah." You go to the firing range, and you just practice, and he is coming up and showing up for his team today, and that's why he's here. Like I said, anybody can have a bad day, and everybody can have a great day. We've seen Iris in Game 1 performing so well. We have a 5v4 situation. Daddy Void going down first, and here Spyra getting a good angle here to at least just call out communication where the enemy team is. We have switched sides now, so it is Cast on the attack, and Zero Remorse on defense, and it seems like Cast is already struggling to break the defense of Zero Remorse here.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky one to try open up this gate, but at the moment, two players make that one now left over for Cast Esports in a 1v5. I mean, we saw 1v4, and it's Iris again.
Don't do it, but yes.
I want to see it happen. I want to see it happen, but I don't know. This is going to be tricky. At the moment, bomb still to get, or bomb has yet to be planted. Boom, picks up the one. The second, Iris. Oh. You know what? I would have put it behind him, but Iris, I mean, came up with such a sick clutch yesterday. Diehard doing that today. What a spectacle we've had throughout this series. But at the moment, it's going to be Zero Remorse inching one step closer to trying to secure this map. And it's going to be Cast Esports on the attack, yet to secure a round on the attack thus far.
Thus far, indeed. And it's a 5-2 lead, and that is starting to create pressure. They have the 1-0 up. And right now, I'm not going to say anything, but it looks like I'm saying it, but it looks like we're going to have a 1-1 at the moment, with Zero Remorse just showing why they are here. They are here for a top place on that podium, not just third, not just second, hopefully first, and that's what we want to see, playing with this type of drive behind you. Bomb goes down for Cast, and they do have all 5 players up 5v4 with a bomb down. That is good. We saw a retake from them earlier, so let's see if Zero Remorse can replicate that.
Diehard picks up a nice 2-piece on that side, as now it brings it down to a 3v3 situation. There is one player coming in here from Zero Remorse from behind, and so difficult to split their angles at the moment. 19 seconds left on the clock, so this is where discipline needs to count. However, it gets left down to Blurry, left all alone here. Peeks! Shouldn't have maybe peeked around there. Could have wrapped around the building and just gone for the diffuser, but seemingly hindsight is 2020. But it is going to be 6-2 in favor of the Zero Remorse squad, who now are just one round away from taking the search and destroy.
It looks like Zero Remorse have the search and destroy formula for this map figured out. They played that retake. It seems A is a retake site. You just give it to the enemy team and then you just kill them afterwards. Easy peasy. And now 5 alive. Obviously, the round just started. Sniper shot trying to connect. Doesn't find anything. And this is the first commit here from Cast onto B. Gets shut down by Chaos, but they are full committing as a team. That's a tough one for Chaos to shoot all down. It's a 4v3. Hope they can get the bomb down. That angle from the sniper here is so tough to contest into. See what they're able to do. If they lose this one, it's a 0. Oh my word, what a quick scope by Sensei. But the bomb is trying to go down, but is not able to get it. Akin just shutting him down. Now it's a 1v2 Daddy Void. Also a top player we have been watching during the series or the matches. He has a sniper in hand against snipers. Great for clutching. Oh, but Sensei says no, and it is a 1-1. The action continues.
Action does continue, and what great play that was from Sensei. I mean, those scopes just in time to be able to come up with those eliminations, but there's an MVP for the search and destroy. There's only one player that it can go to, and I think that has to be Diehard.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anybody who clutches a 1v3 or more is a high contender for MVP. Diehard also top of the leaderboard after that, so he's really securing himself. Again, I think today he's just setting himself up. 12 eliminations in a 7-2. That is a lot of eliminations for him again, especially knowing the fact that he got that amazing clutch for his team. And yeah, there we go. 1-1. The players are playing. That's all I can say. Players are playing.
They are very much playing here today, but what are they playing for? Essentially, there is 10,000 Rand in cash for the teams, but a 1,000 Rand additional prize money going over to that MVP award. 5,000 Rand first place, second place 3,000, third place 2,000 Rand in cash, and that MVP so far. I mean, Iris has been performing map number 1, map number 2. Give that to Die Hard because, oh my goodness, that clutch of notes. Spread that across to your socials as fast as possible. Make sure you're tagging us. What did I say a little bit earlier? And everybody that has just joined us here today, thank you so much. This is the Losers Bracket Final. Before we kick things off with the Grand Final, it is Cyclone Gaming that is... do you think they just all stand there with their arms outstretched in a circle and then just start spinning? Slowly but surely, just in their warm-up.
Maybe, yeah. They just create a cyclone. Anything's possible. Maybe that's their little ritual to get themselves at the top right now. Again, if they're doing that, they have not lost a map yet, so clearly it's working. If that's what they're doing, can somebody from Cyclone let us know? Send us a video. We want to know this information. What's your secret, guys?
And if you haven't done that yet, please just do it, just for my sake, because I just want to see everybody in their T formation just going spinning in a circle. Would make my day. But for right now, ladies and gentlemen, what's making our day is some fantastic Call of Duty. We tied up at 1 apiece. Cast 1, Zero Remorse 1, and we're talking about Control yesterday, where Cyclone Gaming essentially decimated. And I don't like using that word too lightly up against this Zero squad, but now will it be a bit more of an even game altogether? Was Cyclone just on another level, or will this be the opportunity for Cast to break away again? These are the questions that are only going to get answered once we watch it, because I don't think we can predict it, right?
It's tough to say. So now we had a very, very close respawn game on Hardpoint, and now we had the search and destroy where Zero Remorse they took a big lead and kind of ran away with the game. It's tough to say that because the rounds were close once again, right? It doesn't tell the full story. But now we have this hybrid game mode. Like we said it time and time again. It's a bit, you have limited lives, there are objectives, you have to manage all of that. So now, seeing as how the search and destroy was a bit more of an advantageous point for Remorse, it looks like they might have the advantage in Control. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. And what map do we have, Admin? Tell me its raid, please.
So I believe still confirming with players is what we got the call out for. So we're waiting for that map number 3, but we'll keep you posted as soon as it goes down. And going into this map number 3, this is going to be huge. This is a differential, right? Is that when one team is going to be, after they win this one step away. And this is where, I mean, you mentioned a little bit earlier, despite picking up that clutch, I guarantee you Die Hard's hands were shaking. Those palms were sweaty, and it was one of those moments that honestly probably Die Hard will remember for quite some time. We've been there before as players, but as spectators, that is one of the best feelings that there is when it comes down to competitive gaming.
Oh yeah, honestly, to this day, I sometimes reminisce with my old teammates about clutch moments we had in major tournaments, and that will be one for Die Hard today.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully get some mom spaghetti after today's matches, because I hope somebody gets that reference.
So it does sound like we've got that play that we can potentially pull back, just to be able to view that clutch in action yet again while these players decide over the Control. So if our production team is ready, we'll be able to call that one back and actually just have a little bit of a look at what Die Hard just performed. So in this 1v3 situation, that was initially a 1v4, now getting called down Tiana. No, that was, is that the same situation? No, that isn't.
I think it's the same.
No. I was like, Die Hard 1. There we go. So, coming down here with the plant, it is going to be blurry in this 1v1 at their end, and it does look like that's exactly the moment where Die Hard came on top. I don't think we've got the full replay, unfortunately. We'll see if we can catch that for you, as it does have a little bit of an overlap in terms of the gameplay there.
Yeah, again, has to be very happy with the stuff, but that is a game of the past now. You have to look at the future. It's 1-1. Now you've just made it a best of 3. So both these teams now, they can each win 1, or they each need to win 2, right? Then they win. So now it's about, do you kind of pace yourself? Maybe throw this control a bit? Probably not. But I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what's going through these players' minds, because you want to win. You actually don't want to go for that last map. You want to just secure it now. You do not want to go for a 2-2, because then it's a best of 1 effectively, like we've said before. And Again, especially if your team cast, you do not want to be doing a search and destroy after what Zero Morse was able to pull through there. Oh, I'm excited.
The good old crutch, going back to the excited route. But for right now, this control game mode, it's going to be vital, as we mentioned time and time again. But do you think that there's lessons to be learned here from other teams in terms of the way that these matches have been going down? And does this prove valuable in terms of if you're watching and as a Call of Duty mobile player? And where do you go from here if you're one of those players?
Yeah, so I mean, like you said yesterday as well, Cyclone are probably is watching this game with very great intent, with like taking notes, like, oh yes, okay, you know, because both these teams are teams that they could be facing in the grand finals. And if you're a Call of Duty mobile player, you must be watching this and taking note of how to handle situations. Put yourself up for those 1v1s, not a 1v4. We see a 1v4, but if you play your card right, you get 4 1v1s, which is a completely different thing. You just have to win them, and that's exactly what Die Hard did. And again, if you're excited to get involved in some Call of Duty Mobile competitive, be sure to check out ACGL, their website, as they will be doing more of these tournaments throughout the year and the months and the weeks coming. And it's exciting times, and as you can see, it's not just for fun. There is prize money on the line. You can take money home for being good at Call of Duty Mobile, and that is what I love about esports, and it's only going to keep going up from here. So I hope everybody watching is just excited for the future of esports here in South Africa.
Yeah, really, really excited, but not just South Africa. Of course, we've got Sub-Saharan Africa. And we can't wait to see what the rest of these communities have. I mean, when it comes down to African esports, there's some phenomenal teams that we haven't even been able to peek our head into that space just yet. And I can't wait to see the various skill levels as we see Daddy Cool unfortunately dropping out in terms of the internet on that side. Hopefully not load shedding. I know some of you guys are here despite load shedding. It is stage 4, I believe, on that side. Don't want to jinx stage 5. Let me touch wood quick. As
going down to
like
stage
Daddy
3
is back
tomorrow. Don't
okay, that's good. That's good.
I go with our friend Escom. It's as reliable as I don't know what, but I'm just gonna get my camera here again so you guys don't have to look like.
Feels like I'm speaking to a spooky ghost. Zero spooky ghost in here.
Admin, if you could just set my source to please refresh or something like that, I would appreciate it. In the meantime, I will sort that out. But yeah, no. Again, what's happening with the players? I want more action. I'm giddy. I'm on the edge of my seat. This is so beautiful to watch. I love competitive esports. That sounds a bit of a redundant thing to say, but yeah.
All right, so at the moment it does sound like that the teams are having a little bit of a chat just with regards to the maps, as they're trying to just decide exactly on which one they're going to play. As this is, I mean, understandably, right? I mean, it comes down to the veto system, and these teams, I mean, this next map can change. We talked about the narrative of this series so far. This can really change the way things are going to be playing going forward. And I mean, in hindsight, we've mentioned time and time again how important these various decisions are. And when it comes down to control, we love Raid, but oh boy, do we love a good Summit as well.
I have not seen a control on Summit, so this is going to be very exciting for me. A, looks like it's very in the middle of the map. I'm excited to see. I think B is probably going to be the one people want to get on first. No, maybe. I don't know. Only time can tell. I don't know what's going on here. We see Chaos going in hot, gets his first kill, going for 2. Doesn't find it, unfortunately. Good trades all around the map so far. But no ticks going down, although the team of Zero Morse are close to that B to get some ticks. They get their first tick, almost has a 2-life advantage. And it's a hot start to the game. Holy
Indeed. At the moment, it does look like it's going to be a fast and furious contention in terms of top control, which is going to be so massive when it comes down to Summit. You want to be able to try control that room. And at the moment, it is going to be Boogers inside of the hill, just being able to revert this one a little bit further back on side of A. But you can see the overextend potentially coming in here from Zero Morse. They're trying to fight their way in, and the defensive lines have been set. Now it's all about just trying to wait for their teammates to rush their way through. Sensei gets the headshot on top of that staircase, and now has a little bit of room to work with in the mid-map. All right, so at the moment, it is going to be 2 eliminations falling in favor of Zero Morse. Now with the eliminations in their favor, however, Spyro pulls that one back. Daddy Void, in a crucial role outside of Balcony, is going to be able to come up with the elimination up against Die Hard, and made it 2 up against Josh as well. As they claw this one back within 1, it does look like with 20 seconds left on the clock, Zero Morse has actually found themselves on the back foot now. The trophy systems will get thrown out. Instincts comes up with 1, Die Hard with 2, and now they finally make their way in towards this B site.
And getting this B side is crucial as they do have only 11 seconds left. But once they do get the full site, you know, that's a whole extra minute to work with for A. But Iris doesn't want it to happen, but he gets taken out, traded out. But now nobody is on the site. No ticks. 5 seconds left. You want to get on the site. That is round 1 over. Time, fighting against time is the most difficult thing to do.
Wow, tied up in terms of amount of eliminations of both those teams, but defensively, it shows how difficult on the attacking side, rather, that it is to get one of these heals. I mean, very much open, so many spaces. You almost need to get top control, bottom control, and overextend into your opposition's base, which is not easy, especially when you're competing with the top 3 teams in Sub-Saharan Africa. At the moment, the defensive side is going to be Zero Morse, and attacking is going to be Cast. Let's see how they can pull it off.
I almost want to say that these teams should get A first. A looks like the tough one, and you can full commit on it. But yo, Zero Morse, it's all yellow in the feed. Love to see that one color feed. But Iris breaks the color streak there at least. And now Iris again. Oh, Iris, man, my eyes, man. I'm simping for that, man. Right now, as we see, A is getting a few points checked off. But will it be enough? This is such a tough map. I haven't seen it yet, and it looks like it's one of the tough ones. Here we see the... Well, this is an ice version of the beer fire. Is that like the isofire, I guess? I don't know. He gets a few kills. Oh my word, he's pushing deep in. Daddy Void is freezing these people to death here on the snow-themed map. It really fits the theme. It looks like they are going to get this A site. 2 ticks down so far. Will they be able to stop it?
Ooh, Chaos comes out and just challenges and says, you know what, get out of my A site at this point in time. They get the 2 ticks. Or actually, was that 2? Yeah, it is 2 ticks at the moment. It's going to be Chaos shutting them down. And Diehard picking up 2 pieces of his own. 16 eliminations apiece at the moment. And now it's going to be Cast Esports to try rebuild on the attack. And it looks like Chaos is going to whip out the claw, ladies and gentlemen. Whips out with a nice 2 piece of his own.
Definitely. Oh, and the Predator missile just for extra bit of spice there on the steak. And now the lives are looking good for the side of Zero Morse. Quick question, do you get time per tick or only if you get the whole site? Because I'm not too exactly sure. There's a very yellow kill feed again. If you can confirm that, please, Golden.
I think it's per capture in total at this point in time. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. No, I'm gonna go. I'm finding out so I can go pro as well. You know, I wanna get into knowing these rules and things. So I'm gonna my S22. You know,
there we go.
Game should be able to run the game really, really well. I actually started playing a bit again after casting with this, and it's been such a great time. Now it is 11v1.
Oh.
And it's 1-1.
Yeah, so now tied up at 1 apiece, back and forth between these 2 teams. But 2 ticks going in their favor. That does mean, I believe, in total map count, if it is going to be when we go to overtime, or at least when we're tied up to have that map differential, you will go to the defending team, which is more advantageous if you have more ticks in the back pocket. I'm yet to confirm that, but I believe that that's how that works.
Love all this extra things that admin just confirmed that it is correct. I just want to point out one thing though, right? Cast won by keeping them off the site, but Zero Morse won by just killing them all. Yeah. It's like it just shows the different mentality and playstyle from these 2 teams, and both equally viable. Look at that yellow kill feed once again. They are really on fire, but the lives are equal. B has 1 tick. You want to see if they get a few ticks here on A. Instinct is going huge, getting ticks for his team on A. And it's such a tough side. He finds out one player here on the side, catches him off, playing it really hard. Well, Diehard there, as we can see in the back, is getting points. Chaos in the kill feed as well, getting a 2-piece. So much action all around the map, and they pull ahead with lives and ticks, both on A and B currently.
So the pressure's really on Cast at the moment, as it's going to be Spyro trying to find their way in. At the moment, we'll be able to pick up one. Doesn't spot the player next to, however, his teammate does. That's Tiano that works his way in in the site at the moment. Going to try bring this one back. A is almost confirmed here for Zero Morse. They should be able to grab this one as Sensei gets the last tick on the count, or on the card at the moment. 12 to 18. Zero Morse now might need to play the elimination game, as they do have the numbers.
And I mean, they already have 2 ticks on B, and here comes a Predator missile just to add insult to injury. This looks like it's going to be a 2-1 lead for Zero Morse currently. What is showing right now, it seems they have kind of figured out the enemy, and that is 2-1. But again, this is blow for blow. These teams are... nobody's out quite yet. It is really neck and neck. These players are, once again, they're playing. They're buzzing.
They are buzzing indeed. At the moment, it is going to be Cast Esports with their backs up against the wall in this map number 3, currently losing 2-1. And let's see how they're going to be able to play this one. On the defensive side, it's Chaos that whips out the claw. Will be able to pick up one. Now getting into the close range environment, which is so good for those weapons. At the moment, Sensei picks up with the Annihilator 1. Ooh, will be able to pick up the second up against Daddy Void, making it look easy. Sensei, so good at the moment.
Sensei doing a lot for his team. We see the eliminations all across are pretty good. 25 kills for Daddy Void on Team Cast right now. Unfortunately, one of the players is struggling a bit to finding his momentum. And again, it's about that mental game eventually. And it seems that Zero Remorse is starting to crack at the armor of Cast. We've seen Cast perform so well in the series of across all these matches. But Boogers is trying to get in for his team, trying to prevent those captures. 1 tick so far, and 5 life advantage for Zero Remorse. And look at this angle being held here, trying to keep them in their spawn. Another annihilation kill, Die Hard. Definitely one of the players to watch so far for today's matches.
Yeah, Die Hard doing such good work at the moment. 18 eliminations in the back pocket, but it's really Sensei that's standing out for me at the moment. It's, just looks like got a little bit of commentator's curse. It does look like it's Iris going to be challenging, and they really need Boogers and Spyros to come to the fore at the moment. They've just been falling behind slowly but surely. But the claw comes out for Iris, going to be keeping the streak going. It is going to be Chaos that throws down the trophy system just to be able to prevent any kind of damage at range. Sensei pings out the map. Not going to be able to find his mark just yet. 10 eliminations left to the 19. 34 seconds left on the clock. Cast need to pull something right now as they get onto the A site. And it does look like they finally managed to build up some time.
And this is it. If they are out, they lose here. It's a 2-1 lead, and you do not want to be playing on the back foot at this stage of the game. And again, the yellow kill feed right now. Look at that. Just coming, Tiano getting that 2-piece on the side, clearing them off. But now it's a 5v12 situation. It's not looking very good. He finds one, he finds two. And he still has a lot of health to work with. They get a few ticks off as well. Only B side left right now. Oh, but a 1v9. When did that happen? I mean,
there was a time to clutch a 1v9, and
that would
this
be
is so difficult because he picks up elimination. They just come right back.
At least it's spawned far away, you know, so you got some time to work with. But yeah, 1v9. If he wins that, he is the MVP. I'm calling it out. Nobody can change my mind. But look how they're running together. Look how
they're
beautifully.
Running as a pack.
I don't think. But he's gonna get himself some ticks. You know?
Yeah,
he can't kill 9, but he can maybe get a few ticks.
He just basically waved his hand and said, "Hey, I'm here, everybody. Come and find me. I can't do this. This is too much." And there we go.
Remorse. A wolf back there, not giving him any opportunity to clutch that out.
All right, so picking up map number 3, and I can't wait to see on that scorecard. I think it's Sensei that took the top amount of eliminations on that side and came out as the MVP. But what a performance overall from the Zero Remorse team, falling down in that first round and then just turned it straight away and said, you know what, we can take control of this as a Sensei with 27 eliminations in the back pocket.
Daddy Void on 30 though, so he was really putting up a fight for his team. Unfortunately, some of these players were just struggling a bit, and sometimes you just can't find your rhythm in a game. But this is not the time to not find your rhythm. You better change your genre of music to jazz if you have to. Get some rhythm back into the spray. But now 2-1 lead for Zero Remorse, and we're going on to Hardpoint, which we saw Cast win earlier. I see you having a giggle there. But yeah, like we said, I kind of called it Zero Remorse. They won the Search and Destroy much more convincingly, and it seems that does favor them now for the Hardpoint, the Control as well. Do we by any chance know what map 4 is yet? I just want to know. I'm the word that I'm not.
I know what I'm hoping for. At this point in time, when it comes down to Hardpoint, I'm hoping for some slums. I think it's one of the most intense maps of all time when it comes down to HP and just those anchoring positions overall. I mean, tune into yesterday's broadcast if you want me to talk about slums for a straight 10 minutes of why it is one of the best Hardpoint maps of all time. But
one of the best maps though, like honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is a great one, even for Search and Destroy actually as well, which I don't know if it is in rotation in terms of COD Mobile. I
used to love it back in my Call of Duty. Back in my day, it was also one of my favorites. It was such a fun map to play, and I'm so glad that the all of this competitiveness is translating so well to Call of Duty Mobile. It's fantastic to see. And yeah, you were saying something. You had a butt somewhere. I'm sorry. I just want to talk about the things.
Nah. By all means, good sir. You're more than welcome to jump in. But for right now, map number 4. This is Cast Esports life on the line, right? I mean, this is their moment to be able to go, you know what, we can stand toe-to-toe. HP, the previous map, my goodness. I mean, we went to standoff, and it was so tight. Now going into this next map, guarantee you that it's going to be interesting. And oh, yes. The production team says it in our ears. No, you know what, Daddy Cool, say it back to the broadcast. I just want to hear it again. What map we're playing?
Say it slow. Slums, baby.
Ooh, that's what we like.
Yeah, if you lose here, I mean, okay, so again, you don't want to be the losing team, but whoever loses this series, they're not going home empty-handed. They're taking 2,000 Rand home, but you do not, you want more. It's like, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you know? You always have that, like, deal or no deal, all of that, 2,000 Rand, 5,000 Rand for first place. You know, that's what these teams are aiming for. They have a Goliath they have to fight to get there, but 2,000 Rand for third place and then 3,000 Rand for second place. And the MVP, which is they have been so many of, taking home 1,000 Rand. MVP of the previous match was difficult to say. Daddy Void having 30 kills, but the team of Zero Remorse were all showing up so well. So currently it's still between Iris and Die Hard, as we saw them both with those great clutches. And again, there's still a grand final somewhere waiting on the hill, and I'm the word. The word now is excited once again.
All right, so now waiting for them. The Cyclone, has it started warming up? Has it started its way towards turning into this match? Yeah, have they started spinning? Please send us video. It's like, I just want to see Cyclone's team spinning on a TikTok somewhere. For right now, Zero Remorse, however, are standing essentially one map away from progressing through towards that grand finale, where they'll be faced with the biggest of uphill challenges. Not only will they need to overcome the Cyclone once, they'll need to fight it twice.
That's the benefit of being in the winner's bracket from start to finish. You get that extra safety cushion, and that's really nice to see. But again, I feel sorry for the team that has to go face up against them. Again, they have not lost a map yet. But that can change once, you know, it's a momentum-based game, so whoever wins here might have the momentum. But we hear now from the admin team that he's one of our MVPs of yesterday as well, is coming in to replace a player on Team Cast. Probably Boogers, as we do see that his phone has died because of load shedding. You know, it's a real struggle. I think playing games on your phone will drain that battery really quickly.
Me's one of the standout players, and I think just going into the series without him, they felt like they were missing maybe that little bit of magic, right? That consistency. And Me's, he's what I at least gathered from being able to meet him in person, also have chats, he's very much a leader of his team. They look up towards him to be able to provide some kind of support, some leadership, some direction. And that's what they're going to need right now when it comes down to this hardboard. They're going to need some direction. They're going to need some call-outs. And when it comes down to Slums, what a time to bring him back.
Definitely. I mean, morale must be a little bit low on the side of Cast. And if he can boost that morale back up, we are in for a great match 4. And which means we might see a Game 5. And we love a Game 5. I don't care how long it takes. The more action, the better. And, you know, you want one team to just win, but you also want as much action as possible. And right now, and we know what Cast is capable of. We've seen them throughout the past month in various matches, just performing so well. We see these players are all ready and getting ready to join into that game. Slums, Hardpoint. Ooh! We know that point 2 and 3 is... actually, I feel like point 2, 3, and 4 are so important. And we know that these players can definitely play the spawns well, the rotations well. It's just about the morale at this point. Let's see if Mies can bring that little spice that makes that tender steak extra delicious. You know?
Are you hungry by any chance? Because, Danny, I'm a little bit hungry, and you've got to stop with these food analogies, because at this point in time, the stomach is gargling. At this point, one of the things you mentioned is in terms of this heal, when it comes out to Slums, it becomes such a toss-up. In heal number 1, P1, it's usually known to be the heal where you get the least amount of points just because there's just so many angles, right? But you need to make a decision at that point, especially if you're not on the good spawn side. Do you do that overextend? And at the moment, Spawn's looking like that they are falling in favor of Cast Esports on this HP. Now the question goes, will they hold it? Will they hold these long lines of sight? And this alley that Mies is running down right now becomes so prevalent when you go towards P2.
It Definitely does. We see the probe systems going down. We know this is when people rush through. Me's already making a charging start for his team. Again, it's all about that momentum, that mentality, the mindset.
Ooh.
Hopefully he can bring it up for them. And we see a few players on time. Zero Remorse on the side already pulling just a slightly ahead. But this is B1. Not too big a deal if they take a few points here. A lot of trades. Tiano doing a lot for his team, actually getting himself equalizing again. 8-8 straight off the bat.
Yes, so for right now, Tiana's still on the hill. He's got a little bit of a streak in the back pocket, which could be pivotal. I mean, you come out of here with a Predator missile, that's going to allow you to take down those anchor positions, but it does look like Tiana did fall down there with 3 eliminations and not going to be able to earn that streak in time. But it does look like the back spawns do get picked up quite early on here by Cast. However, that player number 4 gets knocked right off. That's none other than Boogers. So, at the moment, Cast Esports, they have the lead, however, they do not have the spawns. We talked about why this is so important, and it does look like Mies finds himself pushing directly through that channel instead of trying to go for spawns down towards the back alley. Chaos picks up a lovely 2-piece, and the hold remains strong here. The Predator missile will find 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, finds 4 in 1.
That caused a lot of chaos, if you will, there, and that is Zero Morse only now catching, equalizing and pulling ahead slightly, so that means that Predator missile is what equalizes. One score streak, working hard early, can really pay off later, and that's just exactly what happened. Daddy Void holding the side here, they want to equalize once again. Look at this score, I love this. A hard point is what these two teams are really, really equal at right now. And again, it could also be Mies' magic. Mies knows how to get his team's morale up, gets that energy up. You know, you put your hands into the circle and you go, oh yeah, or something. I don't know what the kids do nowadays as they get ready for point 3 early rotation.
Sorry, I just need to leave this broadcast for 2 seconds and regather myself. After just hearing exactly what Daddy Cool did there, I'm not too sure. But for right now, it does look like we head over towards P3, and Anchor will get picked up here from Zero Remorse. Inside of heal and out, it does look like they are asserting their dominance. However, here comes down the Predator missile. We'll be able to find at least one. Tiana not being able to measure up his Predator missile usage versus Chaos. But Cast Esports roll in. They remain heavily contested, but Chaos shuts them down.
Chaos right now is doing so much for his team, and I like how there are so many score streaks up, meaning that these players are really, really giving it their all. They are not just getting traded out 1 for 1. They're making sure they take 4 or 5 with them every single time they're going to fight. Mies there, trying to get them off the side. 54-63, not a big lead by any means. And again, it's going to be tight. The fountain hold is going to be important. We see Cast already prioritizing point 4. As it is a tough point to get back, but both these teams realize the value of the next point. Player number 3 is going to go get a few more scraps at least for Zero Remorse, but I think that the plan on Cast is to just get as many points on the next one and start pulling ahead.
Alright, so now as we go in towards P4, this becomes massive. At the moment, the contest outside of Garage Hill, it's Instinct that finds himself getting shut down by Tiano, who keeps on pre-firing through the doors. However, here comes a huge rotation coming in from Zero Remorse. Cast Esports need to jump in on the hill. They were just spending so much time inside of the alley, not really contesting that, but now it's going to be Zero Remorse that find their way in to be able to try shut them down, and they do exactly that, earning some points on the board.
Definitely, and we see Instinct with the Gravity Vortex, getting 3 with that Gravity Vortex, and that is going to secure them a lot of points. And again, we say a lot of points, but it's 74-84. But it is actually the time of the team of Zero Remorse that are ahead right now. And if you're Cast, you do not want them to be ahead at all. That's such a yellow kill feed. Every time I look at the kill feed, I just see yellow. But there, Tiano coming clutching through, and Boogers clearing them out for a bit, trying to contest at least. Doesn't spot the player in the corner. Almost gets him. He does trade eventually. But now it's back to point 1. Point 1, a tough one to hold. 30 points behind right now. It's going to start playing on the mental. But if you can hold point 1, it can really set you up for the next one, which they're probably going to try and secure those spawns for as early as possible as well.
Iris comes up with such a clutch kill there to be able to pick up the player, trying to go for these rotations. And now it's going to be Die Hard, essentially trying to be the thorn in the side of the opposition. As the call-out gets made, Iris says, you know what, I can take you out. Chaos gets the spawn. That was a very strange spawn there from Chaos, who just basically walked up the stairs and said, you know what, I'll take this. Thank you very much. Free piece of candy right there. And at the moment, it does look like this hill is going to be held pretty damn well by Cast Esports, considering it's usually heavily contested.
Yeah, and that's good. I think Chaos, Zero Morse realize that, hey, they have that bit of a lead. They can secure those spawns, and that's exactly what they're doing. But that means they do lose that comfortable lead. But could it be worth it? That is the gamble you have to play and ask yourself right now. You see here, Boogers goes wide. He finds one, unable to find the second. And now Diehard is on the next point. And hopefully the spawns can work. Daddy Void spots out Diehard, but Diehard spots him out even harder, as they are now getting ready to bank a lot of points to try and pull away further. Maybe that gamble paid off.
Yeah, the heal remains contested at the moment. Tiano is dancing in and around this circle, but it's going to be his teammate that comes up with a kill, Daddy Void, to be able to redeem Tiano there. Now it's all about pushing into the hill. The players are inside alley. Nobody's overcommitting here from Zero Morse. There's a player just behind. Does he manage to pick him up? Now it's Boogers being able to be a little bit of a thorn in the side of his opposition number, and it's going to be a Sensei with the cleanup. Now, Cast Esports, can they work their way in here? This has been a very, very much a pain point for them in the past. Now they don't, unfortunately, for them pick up the points through the backside, but they do get the spawn shut down. And oh, it's not going to be good enough as Tiano somehow shuts himself down as he takes out a vehicle.
He's like, if anybody's going to kill me, it's going to be me. And now, unfortunately, that means that the lead for Zero Remorse does get a bit bigger, as they did, like I said, the gamble paid off for them. But now we can already see Teamcast, they're making the big gamble to get that next point, point 3, getting as much points as possible. They're securing that spawn. But look, player 1, 4, and 5, they want to get the back fountain. They know that the spawn is going to be everything, and they want to go on to the finals. They want to be done with this as they take this lead. Daddy Void got a good spot here, but again, they've now secured the spawn for themselves here on Zero Remorse, but they do lose a 4 points in the process.
So only a couple of points, but I love that. Sending 3 players in quick succession to overflow the anchor position there from Cast Esports, who are falling behind quite quickly here. And it's going to be a big resurgence that is required. They look towards Tiana, they look towards Mies, and at the moment they look towards essentially the vortex that finds themselves captured. As at this point in time, it is going to be the squad from Zero Remorse that are showing exactly that, as they keep on pressing their opposition and not allowing them an inch.
Not allowing them an inch at all. We have an Annihilator in the back as well. He finds a 2-piece here. Sensei clearing the site up, and that takes the lead even further. Almost up to 200 right now. Now Cast need to just get a little bit of scraps. 16 seconds isn't scraps exactly, but they have to worry about the next point, as Zero Remorse is getting closer and closer to taking the whole series for today. As this must be starting to street, and Mies takes his flank here. Finds one, finds two. Getting sure that the next point might be a money bank for them. Let's see what they're able to pull up here.
All right, Mies picking up one there, turns around. This is where the claw comes out. Might need to be able to help here through essentially Statue Alley at the moment. Oh, Chaos somehow shuts him down, but it's going to be Boogers that whips out the Annihilator. Will he be able to follow up? No, it's Sensei at range with Annihilator of his own.
Oh! Okay! Sensei came to play. He also has a Predator missile in hand. What a wall spam there. That's just reading the positions, reading the angles you might find players at. Well played.
All right, so at the moment it's going to be Daddy Void that picks up one, and it's going to be Chaos that brings out the Purifier, or as you call it, the Icifier, as it does manage to come out with at least one shot down, and it's going to be Chaos staying up and alive here, as the Predator missile will be able to find up another. And great play here from Chaos, great play coming in here from Zero Remorse to be able to take it one step further away from their opposition.
Right now they are 30 points away, 100-point lead from Cast. If Cast wants to stay in, they have to dig deep, and it's something that can be done. Definitely, we've seen these players all perform, but it seems like Zero Remorse aren't going to have any remorse and allow them to even keep that dream remotely alive, as they are getting ready for point 1 once again. Maybe they'll throw away a lot of points and just make sure can't just crush the soul of the enemy at this point. You see there, Mies falling down. 20 score left. We just got to let know they're on the overlay. And now only 15 left. They are on the point. Daddy Void, so much work he's been doing today. He gets taken off of the statue. It's just, the dream is fading away at this point.
Dream is definitely fading away here for the Cast Esports lineup that need to go super clutch if they're going to be able to stay in it. But it's going to be Diehard that whips out the Annihilator and tries to keep them shut down at the moment. Mies gets a clinical 2-piece, however, will get shut down on the opposite side of things by Instinct. 2 seconds left on the clock, And it does remain contested as Iris says no, but it's not going to be enough as No gets the call out coming in here from Zero Remorse that pick up map number 4 and get their continuation to once again fight between the eye of the storm as Cyclone is left waiting.
Ooh, so that is 3-1 to the team of Zero Remorse. And again, 3-1 doesn't tell the story. This hard point, again, they might have won the first one, but it seems that Zero Remorse figured them out, started knowing what to do. They countered their aggression with even more aggression. It paid off, and they are going to the grand finals, the winners of the loser bracket finals. And now, again, cost, they don't go home empty-handed. 2,000 Rand, still top 3 in sub-Saharan Africa. Nothing to scoff at, but now it's the top 2 that we have to work with. And Zero Remorse, like you said, they don't only have to kill the Titan once. He's got like that boss, you know, where you kill him the first time and he comes back with more HP the second time. And they're going to have to kill that potentially as well, you know, just to be able to, you know, go home with first place. And let's see. At least we get a bit of a break because that was action-packed.
Yeah, that was definitely a lot of action. And ladies and gentlemen, there's only more that awaits us. At the moment, Cyclone Gaming essentially going to be facing up against the squad of Zero Remorse. It's going to be a delightful game. It's going to be a delightful series. We're going to get things ready from our side. We're going to cut to a short break before we get all the action coming right to you. It's time for the grand finals. Hey, what is up, everybody? And welcome back here to the action. It is time for the Call of Duty Mobile Sub-Saharan African Championship, the grand final. It is here, Daddy Cool. Are you ready?
I don't know. I can't say. I'm excited. That's what I am. Yeah, again, we saw a great performance now, right? From Zero Remorse.
Yeah.
But we've been seeing great performances from Cyclone since day one. Again, Concers is up. They have not lost a map yet. But I don't know if there's anybody here who knows Dota. There's a team called PSG LGD, who for 2 years in a row for the international didn't lose a map until a team from the losers bracket OG came and they won the finals twice in a row against a team that also didn't lose maps. So maybe that could be the storyline here for Zero Remorse today. Again, they've got that momentum, they've played a lot more games, and they've got a lot of fire underneath them at this point. But at the same time, again, we've seen how Cyclone, they did their ritual maybe for all we know. And I don't know if you can beat that, you know? So, I'm pumped for what's coming. I don't know if you know what map 1 is yet for Hardpoint, but I definitely think this Hardpoint is going to be setting the tone of what we can expect for the series.
Yeah, and I think this match is going to be so pivotal, right? I mean, these are our top 2 teams, essentially getting the lion's share of the prize pool. Obviously, the MVP reward is also one to be able to try grab, but having a little bit of a look at Cyclone, we've got Tony, Winidi, Z, Vamp, as well as Bailey, Easy, Life, as well as Simpsy. I gotta say, in our previous series between these two teams, it was Easy that stood on top with 37 eliminations in that very first HP. But taking a look at that prize pool, no money to be just scoffed at there on that side of things. First place, 5,000 Rand. Second place, 3,000 Rand. The second or third place prize, rather, has been guaranteed and picked up already, as it does look like the squad from why is it eluding me? Cast Esports have grabbed that. Now, having a look at the bracket, one interesting fact, just having a look at that bracket overall, Cyclone have yet to drop a map throughout our entire series, Daddy.
Yeah, and that is definitely something that might affect how the players, you know, get ready for these upcoming matches. It's definitely, it's like a challenge, but this could be a David versus Goliath situation. And again, they have been warming up, they've been getting ready. And yeah, so again, we saw a great performance, and the best part is Zero Remorse didn't like slow down. They just kept getting better as each round. It was 1-0 down, and then they got 3 in a row. And again, this final hardpoint where they just lost, they took away with ease. So it definitely shows that their momentum is running pretty high at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's see if that momentum can carry them through to potentially, again, not only beat Cyclone once, but have to beat them twice if they want to be the Sub-Saharan Africa Call of Duty Mobile champions. Whew.
Now, I mean, their momentum building up, maybe it's somewhat of a cyclone of their own. Let's see when these two smash and collide together. Now, on the other side of things, I mean, we mentioned that Zero Remorse, they're warmed up. The Cyclone, we've noted previously, takes a little time to get going. And let's see, are they going to start this off with cold hands, or are they going to be willing and ready to go towards the fight? We're going to a good old map of standoff, HP, for map number 1.
Good old map indeed. We love this map. We love to see it. We love to play it. We love to cast it. And we are starting off hard. Zero Remorse are coming in swinging. A yellow kill feed once again. 12-0 on the first point. And this is what we want to see. Again, that momentum. Momentum is such an important thing. Again, they have to keep their momentum running for 2 whole victories.
Yeah, and at the moment, they're picking up some big points in this hill number 1. Now, finally, Tony picks up a nice 2-piece. Tony 2 picks up a 2-piece. Feels like a serial name at that point in time. Tony the Tiger picking up a 2-piece. Very good play there from him. But now it's all about the rotations as they make their way towards backside of Garage. At the moment, it's going to be Simpsy on the back end, trying to be able to pick up the numbers as Ek and Josh trying to come down with a shutdown. And it's raining up in blue, so Cyclone, have they started the momentum and have they started it going? Indeed they have, it does seem, as it does look like we've got a contest going into P2.
P2, one of those points can be a money farm, but it looks like Michael, Michael is also a player I do think we should be watching in today's series. He's been performing really well in the other matches we've seen him. But again, all of these players, these are the top 2 teams in Sub-Saharan Africa. And the scores are showing it right now. Once again, pretty equal. Bit of a good start for Zero Remorse, but Cyclone bringing it straight back. And we've seen that from Cyclone time and time again. They start off slow, you know, they start off spinning slow. And as they start spinning more, the spin gets more spinny, and then they just run away with the match. Try to say that 5 times fast, as we are now 42 to 27, and the next point is getting ready to spawn in. And that's also one of the points if you get a good point. I believe it's Granny. If you secure that one early, you're guaranteed to put some points in the bank.
All right, at the moment it is points in the bank that is accruing some interest, it seems, at this point in time, as Cyclone Gaming keep on that ticking on their side of things. However, on the opposite side of the map, they've got player number 1 currently challenging. That's none other than Easy, working their way up the ladder, trying to find out the eliminations needed, but Die Hard gets a shutdown there, and it's all about those rotations through. Are they going to be able to try get this top control over Grannies, which is such a big points hill overall?
It's such a good point as well, and we see that Zero Remorse are on it first. It's tough to hold. Player 4 has a lot of blue around him, and he does get taken off eventually. Now the Zero Remorse are back on it again, so there was a good trade. We have Annihilator in hand of Easy, gets a few kills. That's going to help a lot. Simpsy, also one of the players. Easy finds another one. He does get taken out eventually, but this is a good contest right now. And the gravity cannon in the hand of, or the vortex cannon in the hand of Akinjosh could help again clear out the site and secure them some points. He gets on the point, 30 seconds left. He can keep them off. That gravity vortex does help quite a lot. Keeping them off now, make sure that he actually gets a lot of points for the team. And again, now the lead is closing, it's getting smaller between these two teams, and we see that the team of Cyclone, not Gas, Cyclone, as we're on to the next game. Cyclone is opting to rotate to point 4 early, as I know that if they can take it early as well, it's one of the ones that they can get a lot of points on. But Die Hard comes in swinging with the Annihilator, and now he's saying, you want to early rotate, we'll just early kill you then. And they are going to secure themselves a point. They take the lead here, 71 to 62.
Alright, so taking the lead at the moment, however, it's... Oh, Sensei, we've seen him do such crazy work. We are talking about it in the break, that massive wallbang shot with seconds ticking down in the Annihilator's lifetime. At the moment, just showing some proficient skill with it yet again. It is going to be that Instinct's Gravity Vortex gun trying to find its mark. Such a little bit of I mean, such a nail-bitingly close game of this hardpoint, starting things off. It looks like we definitely have a game on our hands.
We definitely had a game on our hands. Like we said, this is going to set the pace, and right now the pace is that these two Titans are going blow for blow for blow. No team has a clear lead, as Zero Remorse right now is pulling ahead a bit, but not without a fight. Again, the points don't always tell the full story. We see a lot of players in the kill feed. Look at this shot. Simpsy taking that long-range fight, and they're getting ready to rotate back onto point 1. Only 11 seconds left, but now the lead is getting a bit substantial for Zero Remorse. Sensei has just been performing so well today. He's also found his momentum so well. Finds another. Let's see what they're able to do here.
Yeah, so Zero Remorse essentially breaking away from their opposition at this point in time. Sensei, will he be able to pick up another? No, unfortunately not that time around. But it is Cyclone that needs to try to get points on the board here. This isn't a position that they're all too used to. Actually losing out in terms of an HP, being behind, especially at this stage. This is where we expect that momentum to start building for them, but it's going to be Tony diving his way outside of the hill, finding himself impacted by Instinct, who picks up 1. However, this is a good amount of points in the back pocket at the moment, as Bailey trades that one out and manages to keep those time ticking. It is Cyclone Gaming building up a little bit more momentum now inside of P1, which is usually heavily contested.
Again, we've seen that they are definitely a team that once they figure out their opponents, find that chink in their armor, they really just pounce on it. And now, again, they are closing that gap, playing it really well. Simpsy, we've seen so... Again, every single one of these players is a hot contender for MVP. They're just going to see what they do to shine harder than the rest. Die Hard gets on the site, and now they're going to start getting themselves some points. Not too much, it's only 5 points left. And we see that the team of Cyclone is already on the next point to make sure that they are going to get this money bank in the bag. Look at that player, so low HP. And now, he's just going to sit up here to try and clear out the site if somebody does try and push him.
Oh, pre-fired there from Chaos, who seemingly read his position so well. The claw comes out. We'll be able to pick up another as the trophy system prevents any grenade throws at range. At the moment, the spray and pray will take place. Unfortunately, not going to be able to find his mark. His time should run out any second now, as we'll try to utilize every single piece of ammunition in the back pocket of the claw, as it does look like he's fully streaked out as well. So that's going to be absolutely massive here, as Zero Morse, not only do they have the heal, not only do they have the control at this point in time, they also have those streaks in the back pocket.
They are starting to get that comfortable lead at this point, and that is where Cyclone has to start stressing. And again, we talked about it last time we saw Cyclone, is you just want to see the gods bleed. Taking one map off of them could be enough to completely break that dominant mentality they've had. But again, I don't think they're going to be the type of team that will let that happen, as they are already with an Annihilator in Granny. Now, we know Granny is where you can find yourselves a lot of points. Maybe a bit of an overzealous peak there on the roof with the Annihilator. Does get taken out, but his whole team, they've also secured the spawn here. And this is where we're going to see if this is going to be a runaway or a very close game, this Granny.
Alright, so Sensei is going to try to do a little bit of the same. Once again, going for those pot shots through the wall, not going to be able to find their mark. At the moment, the time keeps on ticking in favor of Cyclone. Now it's this back end at Delhi that they're going to remain contested, and it's Easy that comes out with eliminations. Easy looking so good at the moment. 31 eliminations in the back pocket, and continuing with that momentum that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, no, Easy as he made it look easy yesterday. I distinctly remember saying that. Michael, we see, has a Predator missile also used. Michael, great sniper. We've seen some plays from him, meaning that he has a Predator missile means he's been on a good streak somewhere. And now Granny looks like it's going to be how Cyclone bring it back, as the score is equalized. It was a 40-point lead, but now Cyclone is ahead again, and they're getting ready for the next point. Point 4 again, but it is Zero Morse that are going to do the early rotate. And also look at this beautiful position there from Sensei, trying to keep them off, unable to do so, and does get traded out. But no, actually Zero Morse do take... No, they were holding, sorry. They were holding, and they're holding really, really well, as they gave the lead away, but not without securing the next point to hopefully recoup some of that lead for themselves.
Alright, so now this is going to be huge. Last time Zero Morse held this hill so well. And now it's going to be down to the Cyclone Gaming team to try break it. But the spawns are so far out. On the opposite side of things, it does look like that player number 2, Chaos, gets himself into a fantastic position. Tony, however, turns around and shuts him down. Tony works their way in. Tony comes out with a cleanup. This man has just found himself in the aisles inside of shopping number 2. There was a leak, and he's cleaned it all up at this point in time. It is Tony looking so solid.
Tony just made them sleep with the fishes. Pretty sure that's the guy in the Mafia that says something like that. But anyway, that Annihilator came in clutch to clear out. And again, the score, look at that, 179 to 175. Are we going to see a repeat of the previous game, game 1, where it's just like marginal errors, marginal difference? Again, that doesn't tell the story in the end. The team won game 1, or map 1, did end up losing our previous series. Hopefully that curse doesn't happen this time around again. But it seems here point 1 is the point we're on now. And Cyclone are not on it, but they have a lead. They're trying to find Michael. Look at this little angle, trying to spot out somebody out. But there's a claw, keeping them away, just pre-firing and hoping to just keep them off. And that's exactly what you need. You just need time. There, Michael, the position he chose is really working well for him, as he finds 2. And the scores are once again equalized. This is... oh my.
Yeah, this is going all the way at the moment as Zero Morse pick themselves up time inside the hill. And understandably why Daddy Cool. It's, we feel like we're about to go back onto that big old roller coaster that we've been on time and time again, where these teams keep our heart rates up to the very last seconds. At the moment, it is going to be a great hold coming up here from Zero Morse. The contest will need to come in as the trades come out here finally, as the door somehow gets barraged down after many attempts. They finally knock their way in. However, Chaos finds himself in a fantastic position. Zero Morse have an opportunity to break away here. It's going to be Michael in the back alley trying to work his way in.
The scores are so beautiful all over the place. Michael finds a 2-piece. He spots out one player but doesn't recontest. That's what you want to see. He tries to flank off or cut off one of the new spawns. Akinjosh, look at the blue kill feed. Akinjosh actually making the blue streak right now. And that means that Cyclone is picking up points again. Are they? It feels like they're playing hopscotch. What's the game where you like jump over each other's heads? That is what's happening here. As one team takes the lead, the other one just bounces back over them. The Predator missile coming in. 220 to 215. Annihilator in the hand of Simpsy finds his first kill. These noises is all we can do at this point. This is just action-packed.
This is action-packed indeed. At the moment, nobody's able to contest this top side of Simpsy, coming up with the hold and the clutch that he needs to in order to be able to get the time on the clock. They should be able to hold out and pick up this heal. They try to get the players on the low side. However, now respawn's coming up on the top side. The clearing will come in there from Michael, and he's done so well, clutched up at the last, just to be able to turn it on his head. And Simpsy currently with a 40 bomb, but it's easy leading the charge here as Cyclone Gaming, you thought they were up against the fence, but no, they were just building up momentum.
I got goosebumps, Holden. It looked like we were going to see them bleed, but it seems that they have some vibranium skin or something, as they still are yet to lose a map. But again, that was the closest showing we've seen so far. They've made a few people part of the 100-point club, but not the team of Zero Remorse. 215, 35 points off of taking that one. That is very, very close. And again, they also lost map 1 last time, but they did not. That does not mean that they're out for the count by any means.
No.
So we have a show on our hands, ladies and gentlemen.
We definitely have a show on our hands, and it means that we're going to go to map number 2, which will be Search and Destroy. Last time these two teams went to Search, it went all the way. Zero Remorse is a team that knows how to be able to play the game mode and knows how to be able to slow down the pace of things. However, Cyclone Gaming, I mean, once they build up momentum, you don't think they can slow down. But last Search and Destroy, it really did go all the way. I think, did we go to overtime previously in the previous Search? I can't remember. But I do remember that Tony ended up with, I think, around about 13 eliminations in the back pocket.
I think it was like a 5-5 and then they won 5-7, which feels like overtime, because going 5-5 is just like so nail-biting. But yeah, no, Search and Destroy. I hope it's for the admins, assuming we can confirm the map. Hopefully, okay. I'm gonna put my money on. I feel like sometimes these top 2 teams, from what I've seen in my past, they almost don't play the maps you expect, because they know that both teams play it so well. They kind of have like these kind of trump or wild cards in their pockets that they hope will slip through. So maybe we see something completely new we haven't seen. Is standoff on Search and Destroy for Call of Duty Mobile? Maybe we see something interesting, and I would love to see that. But all we know is that we're going to see action, and we're going to be on the edge of our seats for these games.
Well, I kind of want to see Summit again for Search and Destroy. It was a map that previously was quite hotly contested between both of these squads, and maybe they've utilized those learning lessons when it comes down to Search and Destroy yet again. That being said, we're yet to see Raid Search and Destroy today, and I know that is a firm favorite of yours, Daddy Cool.
I love some Raid, but like I said, I was almost not expecting it in these finals. The finals always, the wild cards always get pulled out in the finals, you know, because it feels like teams have these strategies that they keep for the very, very last, as their, you know, this is how we're going to win, is by just catching a team completely off guard. But yeah, again, how close was that game? That they traded like the whole time. 1 second they're 10 points ahead. The next team is 10 points ahead, and it was just like that. And in the end, Cyclone just had that momentum again. They are really, really good with, you know, starting slow but just building and taking an inch every time till they take the whole game.
Yeah, 100%. And at the moment, do we have that Search and Destroy confirmed? We'll find out from our production team as soon as those two teams are ready and set. I want to find out your predictions in the chat. Who do you think is going to be able to take it? And I want to get a score prediction if I can. Maybe we'll give you a shout out on the stream side of things, because I'm going to go for something slightly odd. I'm going to go for a 12-10 Search and Destroy count.
12-10, hey?
Yeah.
That's a good count. It sounds like you want a lot of action. It sounds like you don't want any nail beds left. I'm going to put down like a 9-7.
Are you leaning in favor of any team at this point in time?
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yes, we just got some news from our admin. Our admin is experiencing load shedding. If his power doesn't come on in 5 minutes, we're just gonna have to just dip and be right back as soon as possible. But we're gonna keep the conversation going until that happens. Don't just stay right there. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after a quick ad break if that happens, which isn't going to happen right now. But we are loading into the game, and the team I want to favor is, I'm not going to say it, the cast is cursed, but it's the team that has to make the other team bleed. I feel like if I don't say the name, because we saw such a great performance from them last time, and it is on Shoot House. The good old classic, all reliable.
Firing range, you mean?
Firing range, yes. Guns, houses.
Houses and shooting and firing all at the same time. Sensei actually opens it up against Michael. That was a battle that we want to be able to see of the sniper rifles. And once again, just in case you missed it, if there is a dip or a power outage or something that happens on stream, please let us know. Well, you won't be able to let us know. That just means that essentially the power has gone out from our broadcast team, and we will try be back as soon as possible. So you are tuned into the right place. At the moment, however, it is going to be Cyclone down with a numerical advantage on their side of things, with that of Zero Remorse showing some great movement here at the moment. We'll be able to pick up one elimination. Chaos going for the challenge. Simpsy's going to say, not going to go for both, as it's going to be Sensei on the opposite side. Ooh. That gets traded out. Diehard comes up with elimination. He did well there to stay alive, but it is Zero Remorse picking up round number 1.
The way Diehard played that was so beautiful, just making sure he can back up that trade, and then obviously the one player on site, he was putting himself in a position he could quickly rotate if he needed to, and that secures it. It was a 1v3 situation Simpsy found him in, unfortunately not able to clutch it out. He did play it really well though. But yeah, now again, Zero Remorse take the first map on attack. It seems that they're really good on the search and destroy attack, and we've seen them really perform here. So let's see what they're able to pull out of the bag. They're trying to figure it out, trying to see if they can get a, overextend. But just look at the discipline of Cyclone. Look at that perfect line they've almost drawn across the map there to defend with. They are not letting a player cross that line. That is beautiful. And you can almost see Zero more stressing, like, hey, why aren't they overextending? We need a pick off to find an opening. And then Cyclone is just like, we're not going to give you that opportunity. And again, that is the discipline you expect to see at this stage of play.
All right. I love that discipline, as you mentioned. And I like being able to see that overview in terms of the map. But right now, with 1 minute left on the clock, it does look like movements shall start to be made. And it does look like Simpsy finds himself in a precarious position, comes up with a 1. Chaos now in a position with that bomb planted down. It is a 4v5. Simpsy will get traded out here by Chaos, who goes in wholeheartedly. And now in a make that a 4v3 as Bailey's just comes out on top of that gunfight. Now it's going to be Life that picks up a second. And now it's a 2v. Make that 1v4. And we've seen clutches in the past. Sensei, it's up to you.
But that bomb is getting defused in background. Finds the first kill, but time is running out. And that is it. I feel like these A retakes are happening more often than not. It almost feels like planting A if you... It doesn't really mean much because the retakes are so reliable to do. And yeah, that's a 1-1. Cyclone again. Not a team that's going to take it lying down.
Yeah, not a team that is going to just go too easy. They will pull it right back. As soon as we feel like, you know what, there might be a separation between these two teams, Cyclone's like, no, we'll pull the ropes a little bit tighter next time around. And that's what they do. At the moment, you can see them just protecting this A site with Life as well as Simpsy on that side of things. And it seems it's a little bit indecisive coming in here from Zero Remorse, don't you think?
I feel like it is. It feels like they are, again, it's about the momentum. They're trying to find the opening and then they try and, pounce on that or capitalize on it. And right now, again, the team of Cyclone aren't giving them that opportunity. But it seems now they are finally overextending a bit so that it's a 2v4. And there it's a 2v3, and we've talked about this. Do not get overzealous. They start with so much discipline, but they lose it, but they keep it anyway. Oh, yeah, indecisiveness, definitely. Maybe they should just try and commit as a 5-man and overwhelm the players, as they clearly see that the team of Cyclone isn't going to allow them to get that easy pick-off.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I mean, Cyclone, as soon as they get that opening elimination, even despite defending, they all start to walk forward. You could almost notice that every single one of those character models were just crawling a little bit further up. And it worked out for them there. However, they found themselves in a very precarious position with a numerical, I think, advantage going from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 quite quickly.
Yeah, it was a really quick. Sometimes it just feels like everything just collapses and falls apart once that first opening is found. But look at this beautiful quick scope there by Sensei. We've seen some beautiful plays by him. Also a contender for the MVP for me with that beautiful wall spam we saw earlier. Just trying to do his best with the shotgun, the sniper. And here's Michael on the sniper with this beautiful wolf-themed thing. That thing just looks intimidating. We've seen him do a lot as well. The plant does seem to go down successfully. And it's a 2v4 situation with a bomb being planted. That's going to be tough for them to work with. But again, we've seen some crazier things. But now it's a 1v4. Plant is only down now, actually. As the plant was stopped a bit earlier, at least.
1v4, and it's going to be Michael all alone. with the work to do. We've seen some fantastic clutches throughout this series. At the moment, oh, one shot will get made. Will the follow-up? Oh, picks up one. Darts back, looks for the second, and not going to be able to find it. They tie it right back up. It's 2 apiece here, with
Like
neither one of these teams relenting.
Just like that. And again, we talk about the discipline from Cyclone, but the second that bomb was down, they also didn't peek at all. It was a guessing game for Michael to try and figure out where these players are. They were all just ready to defend that plant. And yeah, that is how they equalize it. Michael finds an early grenade. That's going to be a good, kind of a safety net for them as the defending side now. 2-2, so it's 2 rounds left before we see the switch. And are we seeing a 3-3 here on the switch? Oh, that just shows the caliber of these players and these teams.
Yeah, both of these teams so solid when it comes down to search and destroy, and probably the top 2 teams in Africa when it comes down to search in their own right. At the moment, it is going to be this defending team of Cyclone Gaming that are sitting quite pretty on the opposite side of things. It's all about the attack. Can they get this bomb plant down? At the moment, there is a player, and that's none other than Simpsy, who has been prolific throughout the series. Unfortunately for him, however, he will get taken down. Now the flank is going to be able to come in here and spots out one straight away. Boom, Michael picks up that player. The second to follow up, however, misses out on the sniper shot. Will fall down at the last, and the player inside a prefab. One shot will fall down, and just like that, Cyclone Gaming take the lead yet again. They're going to want to pick up this next round just to be able to go into the side swap with the defending lead.
Yeah, and again, you are on the attacking side. Having 2 rounds is nothing to scoff at. Again, attacking is traditionally the more difficult one, and I think definitely on this map it is pretty difficult to work with, as we saw the discipline, the line that Cyclone has been drawing. It's been working really well, but we see a bit more of an aggressive push. Michael finds 2, but immediately 2 dies somewhere else as well, so it's a 3v3 so quickly into the game. And hopefully the bomb planter is kind of far away, but hopefully his team is calling out. As we see, he is getting closer for that plant. And now Cyclone are probably getting ready for that retake type of play, trying to find an overextend. It's not going to be easy for them to do. Is that our admin losing power? No, at least not.
Just dropping out of the feed at the moment, so we'll be right back. Maybe a good thing. Maybe a good thing. Keep us posted if the power. I was like, no, the power. ESCOM got us. Touch wood.
Like
hopefully that doesn't happen to us. We are good on power. Is the call out. So we'll be back into the lobby in just a second. So bear with us. Unfortunately, these things do happen, especially in a space where... At least it's not the
last round, though, like last time, right?
Yeah. I mean, when we're inside of the space where there are connections and surges that change, maybe that's the reason for the knockout of the lobby. I do not know. I don't want to make excuses. But for right now, it does look like we've got a game on our hands. We'll jump right back into it as soon as we can. But Daddy Cool, I don't know which way this one's going to go, man.
I can only make inaudible noises or ununderstandable sounds, because like we say there again, Zero Morse have 2 on the attacking side, which is a good thing. They now have to defend. Let's see how this round ended up. If there's a 4-2 lead, it's a 3-3, and now Cyclone is a team that's going to have to try and win a few attacking rounds. You called what, 12-9? I called a 12-10. I'm calling a 9-7. And by all accounts, it looks like that is where we're heading, as they are once again going blow for blow, both these teams. And we see Simpsy falling there. It's a 2v5. But again, that doesn't mean it's over.
Does not mean it's over indeed at the moment, especially when it comes down to firing range. It is the clutch map itself. And Bailey's now finds himself in a precarious position. All alone, 1v5. Good luck, good sir. Falls down, and that is going to be a defending round being picked up here by Zero Remorse.
Okay. Again, it feels like they win the first round of their side every time. The last time they won the first attack, and then they won the first defense, and that here they won the first attack and the first defense again. But we've also, I say this again, that Cyclone, they kind of start off slow, but once they know what to do, they do it well, and they find that first kill with Michael opening with a wall spam, as we can see there in the kill feed.
Yeah.
And that is the opening they might need to get that plant off. We know that the retake is a very possible thing here. As we see, Bailey's going in through prefab, gets a kill. Now it's a 3v4 situation, and the bomb is going down, and it's not going to be a 5-man retake, and that is going to be dangerous. Oh, look at Michael with that quick scope. Oh, he knows how to do the clicks on the sticks. And now it's a 2v4. In fact, what was that?
Man's too fast. Man's way too fast for us to be able to keep pace with at the moment. Eventually we'll fall down there as Diehard picks up the elimination. And with 20 seconds left on the clock, Diehard tries to follow up with the second. However, Life is going to trade that one out. These teams will not separate. They will not take a stand away from one another. They keep on going back and forth. We're tied up at 4 apiece going into round 9.
4 apiece. Oh, we're going to be exhausted after this because these teams are just giving us all of the action that we could have ever asked for.
Indeed, as at this point in time, it is going to be Simpsy. On the top side, Bailey's opens up the kill with Ak and Josh getting taken down. Tony's going to come up with the trade there on Instinct, and they really work well there as a unit just to be able to trade out those... The damage, essentially keeping your life together and then trading that out back and forth. Oh, Sensei! You absolute beauty. Managed to put the bullet through the wall, through the head, and finds his mark.
The way these snipers are playing right now, and this is why I love sniping in Call of Duty. It can do so much, and it's such a spectacle to watch that quick scope. It's like a high risk, high reward type of play. And look at that slide there. Michael, stop it! Right now, he is making work for his team.
Michael, you dirty player, you. Coming out with the snipe in the close range gunfight, then picks up the player at range to be able to clean it up. Cyclone, oof, if they pick up this next round, that could be massive for them. So, we continue here with Cyclone Gaming on their attack, and Michael has been prolific throughout. However, it's Simpsy working their way in towards the prefab, trying to find their mark, and we've seen him and Life just work together so well on side just to be able to pick up those eliminations. However, it's the player at range. Oh, Michael, Sensei actually picks up a nice 2-piece. Sensei comes around the corner, tries to make it 3. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to come up with the cleanup. Oh, no!
My word! These snipers are giving us a showing today. Oh, if you don't want to snipe after watching this, I don't know what you're watching. Look at that. 5-5. We have an overtime. This is what we wanted, and this is what we're getting.
Well, just one more. If they try to put 6 all, I think we've got an overtime. It is first to 7. So,
okay. Sorry, I'm just so excited for more action.
It's understandable. It's understandable. At this point in time, I can't keep pace with the action of these sniper rifles. Their fingers are moving quicker than I'm able to just spot out a player. And that's with me being able to see them through the walls. Yet, having a look at these players' screens, it is going to be a very tightly fought game, as it's still Cyclone on the attack. Defending team is Zero Morse. And this next round is so crucial because it can take you 1 away from clinching essentially the map, and it's Zero Morse opening up with a clean 2-piece.
That is going to kind of break the momentum for Cyclone now, but 5-5, it's so close. I don't know what to say, but we see the bomb rotation going off pretty early after those kills were found. And now they're going to see if they can find a B. It is a 2v4 situation. I feel like it's tough to clutch out in this situation because these are the top 2 teams in Sub-Saharan Africa. They do not make these types of mistakes we've seen, happen, and the pressure doesn't. I feel like what sets the best, the great apart from the best is just your composure, your ability to keep your head level in these stressful situations and keep that discipline. And right now, just look at that line. Again on the mini-map, they're not extending. Zero Morse is not giving them an inch right now to get that plant off.
They give the call out of the positions, and this is going to give Bailey's a little bit of room while everybody's looking in a different direction. I love this play here from Bailey. Spots out one, will come around the corner, knows that there might be a player in prefab, comes up with a second, brings it down to a 2v2 situation here at the moment. 27 seconds left on the clock. The rotations are going to need to come through. It's Simpsy with the bomb in hand. However, on the opposite side of things, will they go for the bomb? Simpsy, not spotted out just yet. Simpsy on the bomb, turns around. The player needs to come up with the trade here at the moment. It's Bailey's who jumps around the corner, and Ak and Josh comes up with a cleanup. It's Zero Remorse, shooting some bodies and showing no love for the Cyclone Gaming team.
Ak and Josh just walking straight through the smoke. The smoke sounded like such a good idea, but that gave Ak and Josh the ability to just walk on through. Unfortunately, his teammate wasn't covering after the plant. It looked like there was still a hope, but no, Ak and Josh getting himself in a beautiful position. 6-5!
6-5 indeed. Cyclone Gaming, the pressure is now on their shoulders as they've got an attacking round to try secure here. And they found it difficult going, but the door gets opened wide thanks to Michael's quicks. scope down the right-hand side. Not spotting out any. Oh, Sensei right back at him. Sensei gets traded out as Bailey's. However, Life loses his as now Josh picks up a second. Is Simpsy falling down? Is this falling apart here for Cyclone Gaming at the last? It's going to be Tony on side of the bomb side. It's the players inside of the prefab as well. Josh finds himself potentially going to be able to trade this one out. Josh spots out 2. Chaos works their way in. Chaos finds himself up against the back foot. It's now a 1v1.
A 1v1 for overtime or bleeding.
Tony comes out and comes out clutch when he needs to. There we go. It's Cyclone Gaming. We're going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. We're tied up at 6 apiece.
I could only watch in silence there. I had to just enjoy the moment, and there we have it. Finally, we have overtime now confirmed. My word, they are not. None of these teams are going out without a fight. Tony, he just did it for his team there again. They are giving each other high fives. They are holding hands, spinning in circles, doing cyclone things probably. And yeah, now you need to win 2 rounds if you want to win the match. And Simpsy, and this is also a swap now, so Zero More is back on attack.
Yeah, just as soon as you feel like you're building those attacking momentum, they trade out 1 for 1. At the moment, it's going to be Simpsy that falls down on the site, and that's going to be Zero Morse up with 1 player. And that might give them the room to try and make this push on the A site. You can see Life, a little bit of an overextend here. Life spots out the 1, will give away his position here.
Giving away your position, you know, it's good. Oh, Michael! How many kills do these snipers have? Michael on 16 and Senso on 13. They are working so hard for the teams right now. You can't but just be in awe of watching snipers play. And it is a 3v3 situation. And the players are kind of spread all over the map. The bomb might be overextending a bit for my taste. But he probably knows that Michael is holding that angle. And if there's somebody you don't want to peek into, it's Michael.
Oh, God, timing that we're seeing right now. Oh, Michael tries to go for a dirty quick scope around the corner. However, Down needs to back up a little bit. Doesn't want to be able to give away that position. At the moment, Michael tries to look for the player on side of the bomb and will not be able to find his mark. However, Life picks up a kill of his own. That gets traded out 1 for 1. Sensei versus a 1v2 situation. Oh, no, Die Hard falls down. And that's going to leave it all down to Bailey's. He managed to pick up a 2v1 a little bit early on, but it's Sensei trying to find his mark. Bailey's works his way in. Bailey's finds a player on the bomb side, but it's going to be Zero Remorse that win the attacking round. And is Cyclone Game going to take it this? I don't know. I don't know.
So much action. It's so tough. I just want to point out the way that Michael is playing, the way he's so decisive with his movements. He takes a shot, immediately repositions, tries a different angle. It feels like he's always knows what he wants to do. But yeah, let's get into this round. It's 6-7. It's a 5-5. Nobody's down yet. Some damage for Simpsy. He's made it into prefab, which is where he might want to be. And Instinct is looking backwards, but that means that Sensei gets a 2-piece onto Michael as well. Could this be it? I'm not going to say anything. Oh, Sensei! 3. Is he going to get the ace?
Might as well at this point in time. Spots out the player across table. Simpsy, however, picks up 2. Josh is going to be able to trade that out. Now we're down to a 1v3. Life playing for his team's life in terms of this map.
Oh, and he's got a lot of work, but he is trying to find a straggler, if you will. Ooh, somebody's behind him. Maybe he gets called out. We can see a few things on the minimap. He finds one. Okay, now it's a 1v2, but look at how they're playing together. And again, this is what you want to see. If you are in a 2v1, don't make it 2 1v1s. They're both inside prefab. They know where the bomb is. They want to make the gods bleed here, ladies and gentlemen. As there's only 40 seconds, a lot of time to work with that Life has. But again, he has to kill 2 people. Tries to free aim, get the wall spam there. But now, crossfire!
They played that so well. You take this side, I'll take the next. It's Zero Remorse that are fighting their way back in with their last life in terms of this tournament and this series. We're going to go to control, ladies and gentlemen, with Zero Remorse taking the very first map away from Cyclone. Has the momentum of the Cyclone dissipated? That is the question.
The very first map that Cyclone has dropped in this whole tournament. That has to feel good. That in its own is an achievement because again, they've been just dominating, and it seems that Zero Remorse have been able to find out what their weak point is, and now they just need to keep capitalizing on that. As like you said, we're heading into Control, and both these games were to the nail. So now Control being the hybrid game is probably going to be the same story.
Well, that was the story, I swear, of the sniper rifles, because
Oh yeah,
I have
what a
not
showing.
seen some shots fired like that in my entire Call of Duty life. Because that has been remarkable in terms of Call of Duty Mobile, seeing the sniper rifle gameplay. Fantastic shots. Simpsy as well as Michael putting on a real show for us.
They really gave us a show, and just showing why the sniper rifle is such a dominating weapon. And yeah, again, you can snipe in Control if I'm correct. Don't know if it's always necessary, but oh, you cannot. Okay, so only in Search and Destroy can you snipe, unfortunately. So we're not going to see that much action, but we will again, because I got a feeling we're going to see some more Search and Destroy. I see it's going to be a 3-2. I don't know to who. But yeah, and again, if it goes to the team of Zero Remorse, then they're going to have to climb that whole mountain again.
Yeah.
And that's going to show if their mental fortitude is strong enough.
And it's all about mental fortitude when it comes down to the grand finals. And now we wait to see what map we're going to move across to in Control. I'm kind of hoping that we'll go towards Raid at this point in time. But we're waiting to get that confirmed. Will we see a couple of substitutes? I mean, from Cyclone's side of things, they actually replaced Easy in map number 2 with their Search and Destroy players coming in. Now coming back into Respawn, will we see the return of Easy, who actually opened up with the most amount of eliminations of the team?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a great performance from Easy. I see my camera is just lagging there ever so slightly. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think sometimes you need to know that you play a certain playstyle. You know, Respawn mode, you are aggressive, you don't worry about your life, but some players are just more strategic and methodical on how they play, and that's where Search and Destroy is what you kind of need. So it's good to have these kind of substitutes just based off of the game mode, and that just shows again the type of caliber of teams and players we're dealing with here. They are willing to trade themselves out if they need to. Oh, we've lost me.
And
I'm back. Yeah, okay.
Does look like we had a little bit of a flash of the darkness in terms of being able to envelop you there for just a second. But ladies and gentlemen, going into map number 3, I don't know which way to call this. Is this going to be the reverse sweep for Zero Remorse, who now are essentially in a position where, you know, they can pick this up, then if they pick this map up in terms of Control, we've seen how they can contest up against the Cyclone Gaming squad. Then we go to HP. You're quite right. We might go all the way to another Search and Destroy.
Oh, yeah, we might. And we have a confirmation it is Raid. We've seen a lot of Raid happening. It seems our wild card isn't happening. But again, remember, this isn't necessarily the very last game. Maybe there is still some wild cards. But we have Raid on Control. It's a story as old as time itself. It's the classic. We've seen like every single team, I feel, almost play Raids. Except we saw the one Summit. But yeah, so we know what happens here. A site, tough to take, but if you can take it early, that's good. The B site is something you can overwhelm, and let's see what these teams do, as we have a few players still need to connect in. Might see a reset. They are in spawn. You know, and this does happen once again. I just want my action. Give me my action. Ah!
Yeah, at the moment it does seem like Bailey's is having a great time with that wall at the moment. As it does look like we'll have a little bit of a reset. So we'll get that lobby reset for you, ladies and gentlemen, before we jump into this map number 3. This is Grand Finals. This is the business end of the competition, where 8,000 Rand in terms of prize money is up for grabs. And of course, that 1,000 Rand, which is up for grabs for that MVP, making a total prize pool of 11,000. 2,000 has already gone over across to the good old folks of Cast Esports. And I gotta say that I've really enjoyed the series overall. I mean, we brought in 8 teams. They got invited across, thanks to the Carry First team, getting them involved on this side, and just being able to showcase some of the best talent throughout sub-Saharan Africa. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to watch, and quite eye-opening at the same time at the level of skill across our continent.
Definitely has. Like I said, it's beautiful to see Call of Duty Mobile, how the skill translates. It transcends platforms, because the way Michael is sniping, the way they're drawing lines on the map, the way they're covering each other, it's a universal language, esports and competitive gaming, and it is just a beauty to watch as these players are getting ready now for the Control again. And I love the variety of game modes. It really gives different players different times to shine and their play styles. it's been so great. I can't wait to see the next tournament and just see it grow and keep on growing from here, man.
Yeah, and I'm sure it will. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of you when it comes down to the Call of Duty mobile scene. I know a lot of you are itching to be able to play and can't wait to be able to get into it. But I do believe, do we have all the players inside of the lobby on that side of things before we jump on in? And we are loading right back into map number 3. It is going to be some control action, and we are going to raid.
Woo. Let's get ready. At least we get a bit of a breather, because again, these games are just action-packed. Like there's not a moment of silence as everybody's looking at in the wrong direction, and now they're ready to. That's the way you want to look, and they're getting ready for this game. 2-1. Let's see how it starts off.
All right, so at the moment it's going to be the start off, and last time we saw Cyclone Gaming opening up the rounds with just such proficiency when it came down to control, and it was the very same map of raid that we went to previously. Now, has Zero Remorse maybe learned a little bit from that previous match? We're going to have to wait and see, as for right now it's going to be Die Hard falling down inside of the map. It's Easy right back in and making it look exactly that as he jumps on into this game.
Easy is definitely the player they just send to go and kill people, just to keep them at bay, as they are pulling away with the life lead. 5 kills ahead already for the team of Cyclone, and 0 ticks to be going down. Look at how they are being all forced into this one building. They're trying to again find that opening so they can try and make a play from there. But Simpsy, and look at these angles that they are holding. Yeah. There are going to be trades happening, and this is... Oh, okay. First kill down now so far. There was a trade there somewhere. Peeks out, but there's a player behind you. That is Simpsy. Look at that discipline. He doesn't peek the window. He knows if he just stays there, prevents them from pushing, they can't get onto the site. And now, 0 ticks and 15 seconds left already.
They're such a good team at control, and they make it so difficult for their opposition. But at the moment, Sensei opens up a gap in the armor of the Cyclone Gaming team with a 2-piece, and now trying to work his way in towards the kitchen side. Will get cleaned out. At the moment, it is 11 seconds left on the clock. They don't go for an overextend towards B. They can full commit towards A at this point in time. And Ak and Josh is fully forward on their side of things. Now it's about B-ball. Will they be able to get inside to be able to pick up the tick? They need this so desperately. Chaos is on the opposite side of things. Still has a Predator missile to be able to work with. However, the eliminations come in, and it's not looking good at the moment, but they do come out with a hold on the opposite side. They jump towards B, and finally the Cyclone looks like it has been split between 2 points. There is still, I believe, a score streak in the hands of Chaos to be able to utilize, and this could be pivotal.
There was so much time bought for them, but is it going to be enough? He's holding it again. The timer is just on freeze right now. Chaos! He gets him off the site, but it's still just a contest. He's unable to get a tick, and there it goes. It looks like B might be in the bag with only 1 tick on A. 10 seconds left, but that was the longest 10 seconds of my life.
Whoa, that took a long while indeed. At the moment, it doesn't look like there's one more life in the back pocket of this Cyclone Gaming team. Down to 75. And inside kitchen, the hold is going to be so pivotal. Will they be able to make their way in?
Wasn't Cyclone on like a 10 health lead? My word, the way that Zero Remorse are able to keep their composure, bring it back. 3v6, 3v5, 3v4, Michael! But there's only 1 tick left on A, but they're not going to give that tick away easily. No.
Players on top of Head Glitch, but it's a player, Chaos, that finds himself once again playing the pivotal role. It's a 1v3. Michael with it all to do. Needs to rotate towards Cash. Gets spotted out. Michael falls down. And just like that, Zero Remorse turned this one on its head a little bit. They were up against the wall and somehow clutched their way through to be able to pick up that first round on the attack. Now we change sides, and Cyclone Gaming, it's their turn to try do the exact same.
We are in for a game once again, no doubt. Look, that's showing 10 seconds left and you just don't give up. That is the mental fortitude. That is the mindset of a champion team right now. Zero Remorse seem to have what it takes potentially. Now, they're on the defending side. Simpsy going through laundry here to see if he can cut off a few rotations to get those early points up. Finds one, finds a second, maybe a third. So close. Sensei on 1 HP. Sensei pushing on 1 HP. Now, that is some energy right there, but B is going to fall early. Like we said, Cyclone is so powerful in overwhelming that B site early, and that might be beneficial for them as they now have 2 minutes to get A site.
2 minutes indeed, and one of the biggest things is that you want to control that top kitchen / cache at this point in time. It's going to be Simpsy on the low end, brings out the Annihilator and says thank you very much. Picks up the player through the smoke as well, as at the moment it's Simpsy making his way in towards B-Ball. Will clean up the staircase as well. Nobody else wants to challenge. They're like, no, we're good. Oh, Simpsy, you beast. From range, being able to pick out this opposite team. And at the moment, it's Zero Remorse looking like momentum has clearly shifted away from them.
Just the way that they're able to keep Zero Remorse in their spawn. I know it was a close first round, but this attacking power from Cyclone is immense. They have built up a lot of momentum. They're heading into land to cause some havoc right now. Chaos finds a player in the water, does it eliminate them, but it's a 17-8 disadvantage right now, and a minute and 20 seconds. No ticks yet on A. Instinct has the Annihilator in hand. Akinjosh finds one in bank. There, Simpsy actually doesn't just instantly go for the trade. He waits for a player to push in, finds two. This is so beautiful to watch. Simpsy trying to spam into Cheeky, doesn't find anything. Now it's a 12-2.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's not going to look good for the Zero Remorse team, who find themselves on the back foot. It's Instinct inside of Tiki, and it's feeling really hot. Might need to dive in the pool any second now, just to be able to cool down a second. But it does look like he'll have an opportunity to breathe as we swap sides. It is going to be tied up at 1 apiece yet again, and looking much more like a cleaner attack from the Cyclone Gaming team overall in comparison to their competitor in the previous rounds.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's about the play style and everything, and it just seems that Cyclone is so good on playing on that offensive. And right now, but it seems like Zero Remorse are going to show they're capable of that type of aggression, as well as they're pushing straight through mid, trying to find that clearing so they can get themselves some ticks on the board. But right now it seems like Cyclone is drawing a line on the map again, not really contesting mid, just making sure there's no ticks on sight. One player has to go against 5. He gets started off there. We see on the mini-map. We have an Annihilator in hand for Tony. Finds 2. That is going to slow down them a lot. And that's a big... No, not a big life advantage right now. A bit of a blurry screen for me right now. But B is completely overwhelmed by Cyclone. And we Instinct here in the middle, surrounded. Oh, he's in a dangerous place. Finds 2, though.
Wow.
He doesn't care. He's in the wildlands. He's a lion in the park, and he's bouncing. But he does get taken down eventually, as the team of Zero Remorse is trying to get onto A.
All right, so Zero Remorse trying to find their way in at this point in time and struggling a little bit more. However, looking at those eliminations, Akinjosh picks up 2, Chaos picks up 1, and this is a little bit of a momentum shift in their own right as they make their way towards this A site, as well as pushing B. It's a little bit of an overextend as they're going towards B at this point in time. Now the team of Cyclone is split between 2 spaces, and it's a huge, lovely push here from Zero Remorse to find their way in.
Zero Remorse is so good with doing that. They kind of just make them split up, divide and conquer. Now they have B, they've got 2 ticks on each site. And 30 seconds, they've got a lot more time to work with. Again, they are there with the search and destroy showing they are so methodical in their decision making, and it's really paying off for them. One side down, one side left. A site, 7 life lead.
Yeah.
This is so close.
So close, but at the moment it is going to be Zero Remorse that are looking so solid. The Annihilator picks up 2 there, and now they're down to the final 4. Zero Remorse, this is their one to lose as they pick it up and take the numerical advantage once again, one step closer. And if they have any streaks in the back pocket, that will be huge for them.
Right now, but okay, we've seen again how I wish it was overtime for Control, because it feels like if there were, we would have been going to it. Cyclone now have to try. They have, both teams also have the same amount of ticks. What happens then?
Not too sure. The gods of Call of Duty make their decisions and we listen.
We just listen. Oh.
For right now, it is going to be Chaos that picks up the 3-piece inside of the hill and makes it look so easy for them. On the side of things, it is going to be Simpsy. Picks up 1 with an Annihilator at range. And now it's all about the follow-up. Simpsy finds a second, does exactly that. And
we can only watch.
Yeah, we can only watch at this point in time. Brings down the numerical advantage. Now they're only 1 point between both of them. They jump on B, and they should be able to come out with this hold and extend that time. But this is where they lost a lot of lives previously, giving the positional play away to Zero Remorse.
Hopefully they don't make that same mistake this time around. Again, they are so good with overwhelming that site, and now they just need to overwhelm the next one. It's just so interesting to see how both these teams have these completely different strategies, and they work for them in their own way. Two-piece there by Josh playing there in the plant. He is a bush, a sneaky bush, but he does get traded out. And now again, the lives are getting closer to each other thanks to Josh keeping his holding there. They're going to try and cut off the spawn on the side of Zero Remorse. But Zero Remorse won't be the team to allow that. Michael being a plant himself. A lot of sneaky deaky plays. If you Counter-Strike as sneaky deaky like is definitely what they're going for right now. Annihilator in hand for Michael.
Michael with that Annihilator in hand now, trying to wrap around, just trying to be able to find a mark, but Chaos gets himself in a fantastic pinch position there to be able to leave them inside a bank, wanting a way in. And still, numerical advantage is in favor of Cyclone, but it's not really enough to make them feel comfortable. As there's only 59 seconds left on the clock, they need to make their way in. Tony picks up an elimination here. Inside of the kitchen they go, but things seem to be too hot for them to be able to handle. As now it's an opportunity for them to be able to break out of the space. Oh, it's all rainy blue. Cyclone Gaming, they're getting their way in and forcing their way up against the opposition.
And right now, oh, Chaos does clear out the site. No tick still. 40 seconds left, but not too many lives on both sides. This is very, very close. Easy doesn't split the player, but he does get traded out. His teammate does back him really, really well. So we saw a score streak there on the minimap coming in as well. It's a 13 v6 situation. We are possibly seeing a 2-2 here. Oh my, these teams just aren't relenting.
They're not stopping by any means at this point in time. Only 5 lives left in the back pocket of Zero or more so. They have an opportunity to be able to try push here. Tony falls down as the players make their way through B-ball. 28 seconds left on the clock. Here's a full flanking position coming in here from Cyclone Gaming. Ooh. As the gravity vortex gun will find its mark. And now Akinjosh picks up one of his own, brings this down to a 3v6. Only a few seconds left. This is a great flanking position to be in at this point in time. The flank finds its way. It took so long to be able to get in this position, and it wasn't enough. Only 6 seconds left on the clock. There's 2 players left alive. They need to make their way in. They need to get inside of this hill now, but it's instincts on the top side. Just being able to stay alive. 1v4. They knock him down, and Cyclone Gaming bring it back.
With a second to spare, mind you. Oh. I need to reinforce the edge of my seat by how much I'm on it thanks to these teams facing off right now, and it seems that it is Cyclone on the side of defense for the final round. Diehard starting it off hot, getting the kill. Only 1 kill found so far. Again, we've seen how Zero Remorse is able to split the team of Cyclone here. Break their momentum to 2 different areas, and that's enough for them to overwhelm. Lives pretty equal right now, but the ticks are not going to be found yet. But this is a story we've seen time and time again, and then Edge just comes through. Zero Remorse just comes through. Let's see what happens this round.
Tony with Annihilator, it's running out of lifetime. It's running out of span of where it's going to be able to be picked up. Picks up the player in the middle of courtyard. Spots out one more player on the left-hand side as Chaos cleans that one up. And Chaos now makes his way in with the Purifier or the Isofire itself. As now it's going to be Tony through the wraparound on the back end. Oh, big. It's all coming up yellow at this point in time. And that's Zero Remorse bringing the numerical disadvantage back into a neutral position.
And Chaos is pushing their spawn with the Purifier on the last few seconds. Finds one at least, and he's holding them back as B is going to fall early. It looks like Edge.
Michael.
Oh, Michael. What are you going to do for us this time around? Instinct keeps him off. B is gone. And this is the first time we've seen Zero Remorse able to bring a lot of energy onto that B side. They now have a minute and a half to work with to get A.
They have a minute and a half indeed. At the moment, there's only 2 lives that separate between these 2 teams. Now it's all about who has that clutch factor. Who's going to be able to come out big here? It looks like Bailey's, unfortunately for him, missing out on a big shot here with the Gravity Vortex gun. Only has 2 bullets left in the charge. And now tied up at 16 apiece. Spots out Diehard. We'll say thank you. Enjoy the other parallel universe that you'll now find yourself in. And for right now, it's going to be Simpsy in middle courtyard as they still need to be able to try defend this A site. However, there are players rotating, and that's Josh that finds himself caught out.
14-13. Look at how close it is. 1 minute to work with, and no ticks yet. Cyclone in a good position, but it's not over yet. We see this flank getting shut down by Simpsy, and now he has the Annihilator on their flank. Finds 1, finds 2. Breaks a bit of momentum, a lot of momentum probably there for for Zero Remorse, and now 13-9 advantage of life. There's a score streak in hand as well. Oh my, what a showing.
What a showing indeed at the moment. Simpsy actually loses out to Josh there. 2 shots from the Annihilator. Instinct finds his mark. Brings us down to a 10-9, 17 lives left. It's going to be a manic finish at this point in time. It is going to be the squad of Cyclone that keep them pushed further and further away. Michael comes up with some clutch shots of his own. Brings it down to a 6v6 or 8v6. This is almost like a search and destroy at this point in time. But there's only a little bit of time. 1 second left on the clock. They need to be able to clear this out. Simpsy finds a way in, but it's going to be Diehard that tries to come up with a trade. Diehard comes up with the kills. That's a double. Now brings us down to a 4v4, 4v3, 3v3 at this point in time. They're still inside of the hill. And now it's all about the players coming through the follow-up. It's Tony that finds himself taken down. It's going to be Zero Remorse, but it's a 1v2 clutch and it's Zero Remorse that come out with the win.
Did we just watch?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Zero Remorse coming out when they needed to. They got the eliminations. They came out big and they will not slow down. We are going to a map number 4 of Hardpoint. And oh, Cyclone Gaming are not happy. They have just dropped their first 2 maps ever in the series. And a huge performance from them with Chaos yet again leading from the front with 38 eliminations.
47 on Simpsy as well. Definitely doing a lot of work for his team. I have never seen something that close in my life. 1 second. 1v2. 2-2. These are margins that are quantum on scale between these 2 teams right now. And wow. We said at the start we're in for a show, and these teams are bringing a show. I thought Cyclone had that. It looked like they did, but Zero Remorse just dug deeper than, I think, the Mariana Trench. It found that 1 second for themselves. 4-4, 3-3, 2-1, and they take it.
Yeah, well, we had that moment, right, where Simpsy did the overextend. They was just whipping out eliminations with the Annihilator in hand. Time was running down on the clock, and out of nowhere, 1 second on the hill, they jump in, and then you would think, okay, well, they're in a numerical even point at this point in time, but everyone from Cyclone should know their positions, right? They'll know where they are because, well, there's only 1 second left on the clock, and they just need to eliminate the person out of the hill. No, it wasn't that easy. It does look like the clutch factor exists inside of this Zero Remorse team, and now it's all about, can they keep this going? They're 1 map from a full bracket reset for this grand final.
I am just, the way Diehard held his ground there is what I feel won them that match. He was there, he took down 1, went for the reload, spotted, cancelled the reload, got the 2nd kill. And I almost feel like Cyclone, seems like finally they are nervous. Finally. We've seen them just dominate, not dropping a map. And now they make these small mistakes. They had time to work with. They could have all 4 flushed the site. But they went in 1 by 1 by 1, allowing Zero Remorse to actually take the 2nd map off of them. And we're now on Hardpoint. Do we have a map confirmation yet? I'm drained. And it's Shoothouse Hardpoint. That's a great one for some Hardpoint as well.
It's going to be very interesting.
Oh,
Shoothouse, tight, confined. Oh. The environments become so tough. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on stream. If you want to do us a favor, I feel like this action needs to be seen. Share it out on socials. Let your friends, let your family know. Get onto WhatsApp, get onto Twitter, get onto your socials, get onto TikTok. Share it out wide, share it out loud. We are about to go into map number 4 here, and Zero Remorse have the lead. For the very first time up against Cyclone Gaming, they've managed to get this. Now, this is the grand finals. They come through a journey. As you can see in terms of the bracket alone, Cyclone Gaming, throughout, they went on up against Incognito. They didn't drop a map. They took on Valencia Esports. They didn't drop a map. They went up against Zero Remorse. They didn't drop a map. Now, grand finals, 2 maps have been picked up from Zero Remorse against Cyclone Gaming. If there was a time for a change of the story, changing the narrative. It's right here. It's right now, and you're tuned into the grand finals.
Watching
What a
that
game.
bracket, though, if we can just quickly go back to it, because we're talking now about Cyclone, right? But look at Zero Remorse as well. They lost in... Okay, we'll talk about it later. But they also lost very, very few maps.
Yeah.
Once they went to losers bracket, they did not lose maps either. And even in their upper bracket. So was it actually the team of Cyclone who knocked them down?
I will double check that for you in a good second, good serve. But I believe so. Zero Remorse, they actually went up against EG Destroyers where they lost 2 maps in the winners bracket, and then they didn't lose a map in the semi-final winners bracket, and then they eventually lost to Cyclone Gaming. Going into the lower bracket, they found themselves in a position where, let me just double check this, they lost 1 map against Cast Esports, and now going up against Cyclone Gaming, it is 2-1 in their favor.
Okay, yeah, so they haven't lost too much, but they definitely found their rhythm right now. As we see, there's a lot of action on the screen, and they're actually starting off with the lead here, 15-10. They realized they gave up point 1 to see if they can get control of point 2. As we know, point 2 is where the points are at. And it seems like they're going to be able to secure it. 1 does get naded off. Simpsy does take it taken out by Sensei. No, it's trade for trade. Instinct knows where one player is. He wants to contest. He finds it. My word, these are so equally matched players. It's just trade for trade. There we see a bit of a blue kill feed. Oh my, but it seems Cyclone is pulling ahead here. Oh, look at the spray down. Michael finds 3? A lot.
Finds 3. Finds 3 on that side of things. Massive plays from Michael. Now just 1 elimination away from pricking up that Predator missile, and that could be so useful in on this map when you've got so many players spawning so close to one another. At this point in time, it is going to be Cyclone Gaming coming out with the Storm as they whip up the first few eliminations, and looks like Michael earned himself that Predator missile and got those eliminations on the backboard. For right now, it's all about taking down these players down the line, and Michael seemingly has a beam when it comes down to utilizing that Krieg 6.
Michael is definitely one of my MVPs for the whole tournament. We've seen him do so many great things. This hold that we just saw from Cyclone nets them 60 points on this point. And there's still 10 seconds left, so they're going to get a few more points as they are going to get ready for the next one. And it doesn't even seem like Zero Remorse have full control over the next point yet. They do have some now. But will they be able to score 70 plus points off of this one? It's going to be tough. It's not that type of point. But here we see Michael in a good position to find one, but does get traded off at least. Oh, okay. Zero Remorse on the site now.
Zero Remorse on the site indeed, as at the moment it is going to be Cyclone Gaming that essentially push them away and take control. And unfortunately for them, not being able to take top control, which is such a pivotal point in terms of this map, especially when it comes down to rotations as well, just being able to make your way through there and be a little bit of a nuisance for your opposition. At this moment in time, though, with around about, I believe, that is 71 or 79 points difference. I don't know. My math is bad today, man. Why? I think my brain is fried.
Yeah, well, watching all of this action will do that to your brain. It's a 70 point on the dot right now. And, okay, so they got a good lead and they're taking control, but Die Hard is not going to allow. Look at that yellow kill feed. The kill feed is like RGB at this point. It's just flicking between the 2 colors. And, okay, so we have control is going to go towards the team of Zero Remorse for the next one, but they actually lose a lot of points again. They are now 70 points behind. First time we see them not be that close. And this could be Cyclone finding the momentum that they know that they have in their pocket. We find Easy with 1 kill so far. Might find a second, but Sensei says no. As the score streaks, or no, the trophy systems go down here. And again, Cyclone are on the point for some points. It's looking good for them at the moment.
Really looking solid for Cyclone Gaming at the moment as they build up this differential time and time again. It seems like this seems to be their map of choice. Shootouts, let us go in firing and play Respawn as hard as possible. It seems like it plays right into their hands at the moment. It does look like, unfortunately for Tony, not going to be able to find his mark there, but it does look really a bit of a demotivator here if you're a Zero Remorse fan. It does look like things are heading towards them, maybe only finding themselves in the 100-point club.
I'm not counting them out just yet. We've seen some crazier upsets so far.
Yeah.
We are seeing a great showing from Cyclone. 100-point lead. First time it looks like they're actually in a very comfortable lead in this whole series. Claw in hand. Only finds 1 though. That is not what you want to see with that type of weapon in your hand. And Bailey is now controlling this point, and they are getting flagged from both sides. Bailey finds one, not able to pick up the second. And now it is again Zero Remorse on getting some points. Will they be able to get enough to make themselves feel comfortable? No, it is back to the control. The control is back in the hand of Cyclone. They are really, this is their map, ladies and gentlemen.
Man. This is definitely one of their maps. I mean, at the moment, they're just holding point after point, rotating time after time. And that's one of the things. I mean, playing Shoot House Hardpoint is like playing like any hardpoint mode on fast forward. You need to make sure that you are playing it as quick as possible, thinking about rotations. And if anything, it shows you cognitively how quickly these players can think from rotating from point to point. There's no reset. They know. It's almost instinctual at this point in time over what they need to be able to do.
Yeah, they're like pigeons or something. They see the world in slow motion clearly, because holy, they are just on something. They have G Fuel. They've got something they're using. And right now, 183 to 48, a very, very big lead for Cyclone. As we're going back to point one, the point where we don't get too many points usually, as point two is where you want to be. Look, Cyclone is Zero Remorse is already on point two. Like, there's 2 minutes left on, a whole minute left on point one. But no, they know if they want to have a chance to bring it back, they need to be sure. But nah, Tony!
Oh,
finds three, Annihilator in hand, 1, 2.
Oh.
Nah, just the one. Getting shut down. The spawn is being secured at least for Zero Remorse, but they are giving up a lot of points in the making that gap wider to try and secure this next one.
Yeah, that gap does go wider and wider. At this point in time, it's going to be Chaos that tries to hold down spawns for next, and just going to be able to try and pick up this position. Oh, 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece more. At the moment, Sensei is going to be the player that shuts him down, and now they're only 56 points away from taking this one. Honestly, my maths today is feeling
that
so
was on
slow.
point. That was
it was on point,
answers.
but oh my goodness, it took me much longer than it should have.
Easy with the 3 piece of the Annihilator there in the kill feed. That is going to be how you break 4 piece for easy. That is how you're going to break the will of Zero Remorse for the first time. Again, this is the first time we've seen the dominating showing that we've seen Cyclone be capable of. And 206, 43 points off the win. Chaos gets taken out by Easy. Easy right now is once again making it look easy. Also one of the top contenders for MVP. He has the Predator. And we are going for game 5.
He's right. At this point in time, game 5, Search and Destroy seems inevitable. And what map that will be, we can't wait to see. At this point, it doesn't look like this crew from Zero Remorse will be able to turn this around just with the amount of time on the clock, and with, to be honest, the way that this team from Cyclone Gaming is performing right here, right now. I think Zero Remorse is going to be very, very grateful that the game mode will slow down when we get to Search.
Yeah, definitely, because Zero Remorse, they do shine there, but when it comes to action, that is definitely where Cyclone shines. And 228 to 71. Again, we saw Michael there clearing out a side, clearing out the rotations. Tony sliding down, finding another kill. And the points are ticking on and on and on in favor of Cyclone. And Cyclone have this one guaranteed in the bag. Oh, it is. This is what you expect from.
Oh, Josh. Doing some work inside the hill, getting the blood flow going at this point in time. But it is, like you mentioned, what we expect from a final, going all the way to the map number 5. And it does look like it's going to be earned in the next couple of seconds. The briefcase comes out. He says, bing, bada, boom. At this point in time, it is 1 point on the clock. And that gets it guaranteed. We are going to map number 5. It is Search and Destroy. But let's see who did what in this one and stood out as the phenomenal players. I think it was Michael and Simsy more than anything picking up the most amount of eliminations.
Yeah, it was so quick. It was so tough to keep track of everything. Simsy there at the very, very top. I can't see the numbers currently on my side. Let's just wait for it to clear up just a bit. 41 for Simsy and 36 for Michael. They really came out guns blazing.
Yeah, guns blazing indeed. At this point in time, Michael with 36. And on the opposite side of things, I mean, a good game there from Ak and Josh. Probably one of his better ones in terms of the respawns so far. And really showing some good stuff. On the opposite side of things, Instinct not feeling too great with 11 for 39. Maybe the pace was just too much.
Yeah, and now we are slowing it down quite substantially. We are going to. I'm in slow motion. We are going to Game 5 Search and Destroy. We already saw one overtime Search and Destroy. Are we going to see two Search and Destroy overtimes?
I just had to laugh at your camera there. It looked like you probably feel at this point in time. Like,
Yes, literally. The camera knows, dude.
this game has been pretty much that. Map number 5, we basically might as well just play this map as one Search and Destroy. And that's what it comes down to in terms of this, the grand finals. And what a series it has been so far. I don't know which way to call it. Zero Remorse have been so good at Search. When it comes down to Cyclone Gaming, you can't ever rule them out. I mean, they're a team that always bounces back no matter what is against them. And now just coming off of that game in terms of shootouts, whew, it's not a team that I want to be going up against.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's all about the mental game and getting, like, because that was annihilation. They actually did the 100 club to them.
Yeah.
And that could affect the mental, but at the same time, I don't think Zero Remorse will let that affect them too much because they know that Search and Destroy is where they shine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what these teams have in store for us, honestly, because this is a treat. This is a treat at the moment, what we're witnessing and watching. I'm just excited for this 1v1, or this best of one, basically.
Yeah, so we go to Search and Destroy. Are those teams ready on that side of things for our production side of things? And do we know what map that we will be playing? We'll have those answers hopefully for you soon. And, our production team's being naughty. They want to surprise us. It looks like we've got a raid, Search and Destroy.
Okay, if you guys couldn't tell, I'm excited about that. It is a raid, best of one Search and Destroy versus an unstoppable force and an immovable object. I don't know who's who, because that's just how insane these teams are. Let's see what we have a lobby reset. We just got confirmed. Okay, damn it.
It never could be that easy. You couldn't just jump into map number 5 and just enjoy the show. And honestly, at this point in time, I might as well just get some popcorn and just chill back. Guys, you need commentary at this point because we just want to watch. We want to see what's going on. But don't worry, we'll be here for every second that we need to. I hope that you guys have all been enjoying the broadcast so far. We certainly have from our side of things. Daddy, cool. It has been such a pleasure casting with you, my man.
No, it's been an absolute honor, pleasure, joy. And like you said, it feels like we don't even need to cast it because these players and teams speak for themselves in the way they play. And it's honestly, it's just an honor to be able to cast this type of action right now. The first Sub-Saharan Africa Call of Duty Mobile tournament. And again, if this is the first one, I don't want to know what's in store for us for the second, the third, the fourth. We've got a lot more edge seating waiting for us, let me tell you.
All right, a lot more edge seating at this point in time. We might as well build a chair on our chairs because that's how these things are going. So, does look like the teams are just about ready, I believe, from our broadcast side of things. We'll just wait for their confirmation before we jump in. But as was the surprise, we are going to raid, search, and destroy. And I'm looking forward to those mid-map engagements. Which sniper is going to assert dominance?
I don't know if we're going to see that much sniping, but though again, both Sensei and Michael are so good with it, like why not? Honestly, sometimes you'll pick it up and feel it, and they've been feeling it today so far, so we probably will see it. Those mid-map engagements, I know from Kitchen it's a nice one to spam that wall, but yeah, only time will tell. We're on again, edges of our seat, excited, buzzing, and ready for this. I keep saying it's a best of one because this is what it is. And again, you know what the worst part is for Zero Remorse? If they win now, they have to do it all over again. So, they're gonna have to dig deep.
Dig deep indeed. And I mean, just to have the energy alone to be able to do this again, I commend the players to be able to make it that far in terms of this series. I mean, it's taking its mental strain at this point in time. It has to, especially if you're the likes of the Zero Remorse team that has been knocked into the losers bracket. I mean, all things considered, Cyclone, this is only their 4th game or 4th match, whereas Zero Remorse have been fighting tooth and nail. They lost out into that losers bracket and have been fighting. I mean, that Cast Esports game in its own right was so tightly contested. Now going up against what some dubbed to be the champions, I mean, it hasn't been easy. They must be feeling it at this point.
Yeah, they definitely must be. But again, they also have the most like time under the belt, and it seems that that time has been paying off. They have been fighting all the teams that we've seen and coming on top time and time again. And now it's just this one last hill to climb. Can they climb it? Have they brought enough snacks for the climb? Because again, this is only half the climb that they're facing now.
Yeah.
I hope these. Where's our action? Admin, we want to get the action. Everybody's waiting.
So
Ah.
at,
Ah,
at the moment, it does sound like there was an incorrect setting in the previous game. So we're just waiting for the teams to be able to jump in. At the moment, it looks like everybody has jumped out, and we're about to jump into this map number 5, Search and Destroy on Raid. I want to find out your predictions. At the moment, I'm going to be as bold to make a prediction for a team. And my prediction will be 7 to 5 in favor of Cycling Gaming.
Okay, I'm going to do again 9-7 in favor of No Remorse, because of the way they have been playing Search and Destroy. They definitely, that is their play style, and I don't know. Okay, again, remember last time we saw Zero Remorse on Raid, they held 1 second for 10 seconds and clutched against a lot. So if there's a map they seem to be comfortable with, it's Raid. And again, I don't know what to say. It's just they're so equally matched. Again, that's why we're on a game 5 right now, and that is what you want to see here for the finals. No team has just got it in the bag. It's a nail biter to the nail moment, and this is gonna be action. I wonder what's gonna happen first round. You know, after a reset, you sometimes think, should we have done that? Maybe we can try something else. Or they know that this is what you were going to do. So do they switch it up, or do they just double down? These are the type of questions we're asking now while we wait. And yeah, it looked like it was going to be a pretty mid-heavy contest from what we saw there from the beginning.
Yeah.
And yeah, only time will tell. And only time will tell who's going to be the champion here today.
Yeah, the champions, that's what we're fighting for here today. That 5,000 Rand in cash prize pool, 3,000 Rand for second place. We don't even need to mention the rest other than that MVP award, which, I mean, if Zero Remorse turn on a reverse sweep here, they could have a player, and I think that player it's probably between Chaos and Josh at this point in time if it's coming from Zero Remorse. On the other side of things for
Sensei
Cyclone
as well. Sensei snipes.
yeah, Sensei sniping has been disturbing. Like, it's honestly disturbing. Like, it's something that I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night and just be like, Sensei, why? This freaks me out
Cold
completely.
sweats.
Just cold sweats, just thinking that Sensei is watching me with a sniper rifle from somewhere, because some of those shots that he gets is just so good. On the opposite side of things, Simpsy, I think, has been such a standout player for Cyclone. Michael as well with the sniper rifle shots. And Easy, we mentioned him previously. Yesterday, Easy was shining. Today, did so well in that map number 1. We'd like to see more of it in map number 5 here for the Search and Destroy, now that I believe he will actually be playing in the Search.
See, the chat is saying Simpsy MVP. My MVP personally has been Michael. Wait, who got the crazy clutch?
I believe that was Michael.
I believe it was Michael, and again, he had the 1v4 clutch with the sniper. How can you not root for the man after doing that? But also, Die Hard holding on for his team there on the control. So, like, honestly, every single one of these players are MVP worthy, because every single one of them has shown up at some point today and during the whole tournament. And yeah, that is it. We are ready for maybe the finals, or maybe not. We have to wait and see. You guys are just as in the dark as we are.
All right, so at the moment, it does look like we've got predictions coming in. Iris Cod Mobile saying 7-3 to Cyclone. JH Stoltz saying 7-5 to Cyclone. And Falcon saying 7-4. I'm not too sure to who, but at the moment, it's going to be Simpsy that opens up with the first blood and gets Cyclone moving.
Cyclone moving indeed, and usually they play from the back, but if they play from the front, you might be in danger. Sensei, you're trying to see if you can find a pick in mid. Simpsy is close mid, he doesn't know that. they're not going to be able to get that bomb planted as Cyclone is actually on the offensive, pushing far past, finds one, and it's a 4v2 already, but now it's about that discipline. Don't overextend. You have them at the numerical disadvantage, and you can't afford to make mistakes, and I think that's been made very, very clear.
Made very clear indeed. At the moment, it's going to be all down to the last player here. Instinct needs to pick up the bomb. 1v4. We've seen it happen on Raid previously, and Instinct picks up one, brings us down to a 1v3.
The players on the map are not working well enough yet, but Simsi is in the right place at the right time. And it's a defender side, so, you know, it's to be expected. But usually we've seen Zero Morse take the first attack. So, I mean, if that's telling something, like you said, I just want popcorn. I just want to watch this because, my word, they are here. Look at this. That slide is going to keep him alive. Michael! Oh!
How did he do that? How did he do that? Mid-momentum slide, picks up Sensei, and picks up the elimination there. I mean, the skills that we've seen from these players, Michael, oh my gosh, just stop. Just stop. At this point in time, takes down two, and it's down to a 5v3 situation with the bomb yet to be planted here. Michael doubles back and gives the call-outs that players have made their way towards A.
Yeah, Michael did a lot of work for his team there, getting Sensei and another player down. That puts him in the 5-3. It's interesting to see that Zero Morse actually made it so deep onto site, but they aren't able to plant the bomb, knowing that Michael is just there, just lurking, waiting to snipe them, and he's looking at this bomb. He's unable to stop the plant, but 5v3 in that basketball. Oh, Michael! That's a 4-piece for Michael that round.
Wow, Michael, the snipes have been stupid. They've been ludicrous. I don't have words to describe them. I mean, Michael just...
Donkulus licus. I don't know. We need to...
Whatever that is. Put that in a box.
All the words, yeah.
And send a congratulations letter to Michael saying, well done, you are ridiculous. Because at this point in time, I can't. How is he pulling up these shots?
It's beautiful. Mental. That's another 4-piece for him to his name. It's just a lot of solidifying his MVP status for me. But yeah, let's see. It is now around 3-2-0 advantage to Cyclone. And this is again Cyclone or... Simsi! Okay, Simsi! Okay, he just wants to make it clear that he is also an MVP contender.
Whatever you can do, Michael, I can do better. At this point in time, it's going to be chaos in top window. Simsi says, here's my 4-piece. Simsi with a potential ace here. And it's Instinct. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Poor Instinct's connected. Instinct says, hello, I'm back. Oh, no. Where's my teammates? Where are they coming? Oh, no. There's two of them running at me. Oh, Simsi with the ace.
Simsi gets that ace. A bit of an interesting ace. Unfortunate disconnect there. That's part of the game, I guess, at this point, and that is a 3-0 lead now for Cyclone. Again, they seem to have found their momentum, and it seems once they do, there's just nothing you can do to stop them.
And at this point in time, Simsi picks up 5, and that should be streaks as well in the back pocket.
Are there streaks in Search and Destroy?
I don't think so. Maybe I'm incorrect here. I don't think there are streaks. I'm not seeing anything on the HUD, so... it would have been. Let's just say that much.
Yeah.
Simsi at the moment with the Krieg 6 in mid-map. And, I mean, Cyclone Gaming have turned it up a gear. If anybody pulled it out in chat earlier, they said it does look like we're at a stage 5 that has just been started for Cyclone.
Stage 5 indeed, and it is now a 4v1. And again, we've seen these comebacks, we've seen these clutches, but I think if there's a team who's going to be difficult to clutch against, it's going to be Cyclone. It is Chaos. There's a player right here, Chaos. He gets one. His first one down. Okay, the rest of the team on the other side of the map, so he has some time to work with. Obviously, he doesn't know this. He's going to peek up mid, see if he can find another straggler. He shoots. He doesn't score. 4-0 lead to Cyclone. Is the momentum of Zero Remorse finally running out? Or do they have a little bit more to dig for?
We're going to have to wait and see. At the moment, it is the Cyclone Gaming team that have gone into, I believe, not stage 5, but category 5 Cyclone. As they've made their way forward at the moment, it's going to be the first blood actually getting picked up here for the first time from this Zero Remorse team. And inside the hill we go, as it looks like they get that traded back for a 3v3, make that a 2v3 situation, as Zero Remorse once again on the back foot. Tony picks up a nice 2-piece, making it a 1v2.
Yo, at this rate, I think this cyclone is so intense, you have to use the Richter scale to just measure its power, because holy, it's almost an earthquake. 2v1. They know where the last player is. Hopefully they do communicate to each other. No, they don't know where it is, so Chaos could potentially get a plant here. Gonna see if he can find one more pick-off. Is that the play to go for? He sees there's nothing available. Planting is so dangerous, just vulnerable for quite a few seconds, and now the rotation is coming through from Cyclone. And that is the decision making that could make the difference. But no, Cyclone's still on A. But now they know it's a 2v1 if they work together, but they're splitting. And we've talked about this a few times.
Yeah.
Is splitting the way to go? If you're able to maybe just play info and not get killed, it's fine. So let's see how they handle this. Okay, one player going mid, one player going laundry. Just seeing if they can find out where Chaos is. If they know where the plant is, they could try and read where he would be. It's just about figuring it out, and Chaos playing with great composure right now.
Yeah, doing really well. Chaos just being able to try spot this one out, going back and forth. Only 10 seconds left on the clock. Tries to play for the elimination, but they pair up just in time. Now the defuse will be able to come in here, and they should have enough time on the clock. It's Tony coming up clutch when he needs to. 5-0 in favor of Cyclone.
He played it so well the time there. He got the kill, but it was not enough to secure the round. It's a 5-0. Oh, my goodness. But this is defense. Maybe Raid is just a very defense-heavy map. If Zero Remorse can try and find maybe just one round, it could be good for them. Let's see what they're able to do here. But they are definitely feeling nervous at this point.
Nervous indeed, as it is a 4v4 situation. Make that 4v3. As Cyclone Gaming find themselves knocked down, but they bring it right back to a 3v3, as now it's life in terms of top cash, just holding his position at the moment. Players outside of bomb is still Simpsy. Simpsy's been prolific throughout this search and destroy and has stood out time and time again. Akin Josh is going to be able to get the shots fired, however that gets traded out. Simpsy picks up one. Simpsy falls down, and there we go. One round in the back pocket, at least on the attacking side of things, for Zero Remorse.
Is one round going to be enough? Let's see, as now they have the task of defending and Cyclone have the mountain of trying to attack. And if we've seen their aggression, if there's a team who can attack, it's them. Looks like they have their eyes squarely set on B. One kill already with a nade from Michael, but never mind. Zero Remorse find two as well, so that is now a 4-3 advantage. Diehard, you're a bit deep, my friend. Simpsy just reads that overextending.
Yeah.
Overextending at this point of the game. Is it really what you want to be doing? It is now a 3-2, still in advantage for Zero Remorse at least. But now, no more mistakes can be made. This is the last stretch.
The last stretch indeed. At the moment, there is a 3v2 situation in favor of Zero Remorse. But it's all about just trying to find their player, find their number. And let's see what they're going to be able to do here.
Like we're doing some golf commentating here. Yes, Simpsy, he is going to try and find the angle for this, as it is such a tactical and slow, methodical pace that we are witnessing here. As like we said, everything is on the line and the nerves are most definitely at their peak.
All right, at the moment it does look like the tension does get built there by my co-commentator, by Daddy Cool himself. But the tension does get broken here a little bit for this Zero Remorse team. 5-2.
5-2.
Big plays coming here. Maybe a change of the story, a change of the narrative.
It seems that the raid is a defender map, and Zero Remorse are going to show that they are capable of defending as well. That free fire, they read the potential attempt to push. But now Diehard takes a good spot here. This could be good for that pickoff. He will most likely get traded if you look at how close everybody is to each other. Okay, finds one. Diehard finds two thanks to teamwork from Chaos, but does get traded out by Easy eventually. But now they have the advantage. Three have fallen on the side of Cyclone. So that is now a 2-4 situation. Easy finds one. 2-3. And the bomb is quite far away. They could still opt for that A plant if they want to, but Instinct tries for the little spam, doesn't find it. Instinct is actually now... No, Instinct has been the sniper the whole time. Yes, sorry. It's just so much action. Now they're going to see if they can find these stragglers. They're going together, find spots. One in Laundry, gets taken down. 1v2, Tony. We've seen you make people sleep with fishies. Can you do it for us again today?
All right, so 5-2 in terms of total score count. First to 7, remember. And now we're in a 1v2 situation. Tony trying to make his way in here. Has the bomb in the back pocket, so that should add a little bit relief should he get it down and bring things into consideration. Oh, no. Instinct comes up with a sniper rifle shot down the range and picks him off. Bring this back. 3 rounds in a row now for a Zero Remorse, which is absolutely massive. And now maybe momentum is shifting in their way.
Most definitely looks that way. No gas to Skurs here. No siree, as they are going to opt for that A rush this time, as B has just not been working. They're pretty deep in at least already. That could be good for them. Michael goes for the quick scope. Doesn't find the second one. Die Hard in mid. Takes down Michael. 2 have fallen. 3 have fallen.
Zero Remorse.
Oh.
At the moment, Zero Remorse is fighting for every single life that they can get. And that was such a quick round of search and destroy. 5-4. 4 rounds in a row. We saw this game go from a 5-0 to a 5-4. And Zero Remorse have brought it back.
They have brought it back indeed. Like we said, maybe that 1 round they got on attacking is what they needed. Only time will tell. I'm not going to jinx anything. It's too action-packed. It's too close. Sensei finds one. Gets traded out by Easy. 4-4. First time that we've seen the equal on this side of the attack and defense. But now there are 2 players making a beautiful crossfire there on A. And if we were Cyclone and we knew what we knew, we would be switching over, but they are going to probably try and connect. We see player 3 there. Gets taken out. Unable to find a straggler for himself. Unable to find an opening. And another one falls. 4-2. Zero Remorse are holding on to the dream.
They are indeed. Now it's Michael left all alone at this point in time. And picks up 1. As now gets left into a 1v3 situation. Just trying to be able to find his way out here, and it's a bit of a precarious position to be in. As Michael trying to spot out, is there a player nearby?
And it just seems that they are being so disciplined, and Instinct takes him down. That is what I want to see. That was the type of discipline I was looking for. That was stunning. They paired up in mid, 1 on a site, and then they could easily rotate if they needed to, but they didn't need to, as they did get that kill in 5-5.
5-5. We're here. We're at this point in time. I didn't know or didn't think it was going to happen, and now it has made its way all the way to 5-5. I can't believe it. As at the moment, a trade out in mid will take place, bringing it back to a 4v4 situation. Nades will get thrown out here. 3v3 as once again another trade outside of White Van. It's going to be Zero Remorse for the first time on the back foot numerically here, as it's going to be Instincts as well as Akin Josh left last alive.
Akin Josh looks like he's getting a decent flank here. This flank could pay off. They are split. We've talked about it, but sometimes it's worth the risk. But no, it isn't. Instinct on the sniper. 1v3. Bomb has been planted. 40 seconds to work with. And if there's a team that's not going to allow you to clutch out, it will probably be the team of Cyclone, but it's still too early to say anything. Going into Laundry, seeing if he can find anything. Almost hits the shot, but Life says no. 6-5, dangerously close to an overtime.
I can't believe it. That it has gone all the way here, and now it is Cyclone's game to lose, essentially. They are 1 round away from taking this the grand finals, but because I've said that, Zero Remorse is more than likely to win the round. It's just the way these things go, ladies and gentlemen.
No, again, I'm touching wood, I'm crossing fingers, anti-jinxing. I don't know what I have to do, but right now it seems that 2 players have fallen for Zero Remorse already. Bomb is kind of deep in mid. Losing the bomb there would be disadvantageous. Oh, Michael finds Instinct as well. 2v4. Is this it? Is this the end? Simpsy finds another one. 1v4. Chaos. Can you bring it back for your team? Can you keep the dream alive?
Chaos now left in this 1v4 situation. He feels the weight of the shoulders of his team just all pressed up. And can he carry them through this moment? 30 seconds left on the clock. Gonna be so tricky to get out of this situation. We'll need to poke his head out. Spots out. Oh, picks up the one. Chaos now working his way through. Still being able to recover a little bit of life. Chaos falls down. Ladies and gentlemen, you have your Call of Duty Mobile Sub-Saharan African champions. And that is none other than the force of nature that is Cyclone Gaming that have come out on top here today to clinch it at the last. They left it tight. They left us waiting. But did they show consistency throughout this tournament?
Holy guaca heckin' moly. What a showing. It's a 3-2 and the last game went 5-7. We saw no overtime. You called 5-7, didn't you?
I did indeed.
Hey, that's the caster's blessing right there for Cyclone. And they take it. They've been the dominant team. Simpsy with 14 kills. But I mean, Instinct with 12 on the sniper as well. Michael having a... I wouldn't say 9 kills is subpar, but yo, Instinct did a lot there. Now, I don't know how we're going to choose an MVP after everything we've seen. But yeah, we have our champions. Holden.
Yeah, I mean, I've got just hit by sunlight at this point in time. But wow, what a game that we had there on our hands, and what a series overall. We're going to deliberate and also let you all know on Monday who has been decided as the MVP of the series. So make sure that you stay tuned to our socials. I'd love to hear who you think should be the MVP of the series. If you've been paying attention, if you've been watching and following along with the action, I do have to say a massive thank you to every one of you. But it is Cyclone Gaming that have surged their way up, essentially not dropping a game up against any team. They dropped rounds in the last grand final. But what a show, what a spectacle they put on for us. And Daddy Cool, being a part of this very first series for you as a part of Call of Duty Mobile, how was that?
It was fantastic. It was wonderful. It was magnificent. All of the multi-syllable good words. And it's been an absolute blast casting alongside of you. These players, everybody in chat, the viewers being here supporting the South African the Sub-Saharan African Call of Duty mobile scene. It's been amazing. My edge, I'm going to need a new chair. I don't think it was made for sitting on where I've been sitting the whole time. And just thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure, man. Yo.
Yeah, man. It's been an absolute pleasure from my side of things to be able to cast alongside you as well. And what a show these teams have put up for us. And ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we can bring more of these coming to you inside of the new year. If you want to be able to be a part of more regular tournaments at acgl.gg, we'll be able to take care of business. But I've got to say, a massive thank you to Call of Duty Mobile as well as Carry First for absolutely making this possible and putting on the series for us to be able to enjoy. And from my side and the ACGL team, I want to say a big shout out to the production for being able to give you some high quality gaming content. And we're so pleased to be able to present some of the best talent in Africa for you over these past 3 weeks. From my side of things, and Daddy, I just want to say once again a big thank you to you. Thank you to the spectators. But for right now, I think this is time for us to wrap it up. We really appreciate you joining us this weekend. It has been amazing. Our title headline to be able to leave on is that your champions is none other than Cyclone Gaming. Congratulations and GG. And until next time, we'll see you then.